actually going to try doing a screen share. Instagram, like you have to look at Instagram for the lives to actually be able to see like the comments. So I'm going to try screen sharing it as like a
Cool.
presentation for the two of us
Sweet.
once it no longer has my stream key on it. Lord knows I don't want to share that with everybody.
If you hear some random stuff in the background, I'm at the house with the little ones, so it's it
No
might be
worries.
kind of loud.
You
So
you saw the cat. So the
yeah,
cat has literally shown up for every single live but one that I have ever done. I don't know how he knows, but he knows. So he usually
intelligence.
appears and then disappears.
I love that. I love that.
All right, let's see if I can share the screen for the comments this time. Screen share, share screen, window, Instagram, share. Look at that.
Hell
I
yeah,
did
that's cool.
I did cool things. Look at that.
I respect it. I respect it.
Glad somebody does.
Got to share that love. Got to share that respect.
Well, and there's a delay, so that's going to be like just as interesting. I wish I could
That'd be
make
fun.
that smaller. I don't know. We got people. Hi, 666. Oh, I know who you are. What is your name? Kyle. Is it Kyle? I'm fired. I think it's Kyle. It's it's so hard to keep up with people for the simple
Yeah,
fact that like cars change, faces change, names online change,
yeah.
and most of the time I know their Instagram name, but I don't know their actual name.
I'm right there with you. Like it's so crazy you say that. Like I run into people a lot, and they're like, "Oh, what's up, Alan?" I'm like, "Hey," and then I'm like, "Shit," and then I'll see their car, and I'm like, "Oh, hey," like, yeah, So yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Monty. Okay, I got this, Monty. Next time I got this. I should be able to remember that one. It's unique enough. All right. I think I'm going to take it off the screen because I think it's taking over a little too much, but I'm going to
Okay,
figure out another way to record that for later because it
cool.
would be nice to actually be able to see it as part of this process. All right. Moving on. Hi, Alan.
Hello. How are you?
Fabulous as always.
Good.
Tell
Good.
us tell us a little bit about you and why you're chatting with me today.
Yeah, of course. My name's Alan Archer. I'm the owner of AMA Motorsports. We are now a brick and mortar shop in Central Pennsylvania,
Okay.
but been mobile since like 2010. I'm a driver. Been drifting since I was 15, so we're going on 19 years at this point. So
Okay.
quite a while. And then outside of that, I'm also an event host. So drift events, pretty much anything. I've hosted some car show stuff. I've done a few things, but drifting primarily is my thing. So
Have you ever done any racing outside the drifting? Because I have most of the people that I have talked to have either done drag at some point, road course,
yep,
SCCA, like they've all done something
yep,
different.
yeah. I dipped and dabbled in some some road course stuff, and then drag racing back when I was in Florida. I lived in Fort Myers for a while. I
Okay.
worked for a company called Five Bar Motorsports, and we had one of the fastest Mustangs in like 2015 back then. So it was. I spent some time there, did some cool stuff. Not really my cup of tea. I always gravitated back to drifting, and then
Okay.
road racing. I've always been around, like Summit and some other places. The road racing just kind of became um, the other thing I fell in love with a lot, and still do. I think when I'm done sliding cars, I'm gonna jump fully back into that, and that's gonna be my thing. But who knows when
Okay.
that'll happen? So yeah, I love it all. Anything with engines and tires and hell, even boats. I don't care what it is. If it can go fast and we can have fun, that's the game plan. So
You sound like me. Like I'm just like, does it sound cool? Does it look cool? Is there chaos? Could I die? Okay, great.
yes, do it exactly. Yeah, man, bikes and everything. I gotta stay off the bikes though. Almost, I had a pretty
Yeah.
pretty bad accident years ago, so I'll stay off of those for now.
Okay.
Everything else,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
I've talked about that a couple of times. I used to ride as well too years ago. And after my second one, or let's see, after my last bike got stolen a second time, I was over it. I was done. I was like, it's a sign. It's fine. I'm listening. I don't know who's giving me it, but
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I told
man.
I told the insurance adjuster, I was like, you know what? I was like, if I ever get another motorcycle, it's gonna be the ugliest fucking cruiser that I can find that nobody's gonna want.
I
Because
love that.
I
I
had an
love that.
R6, like,
Oh,
almost
sweet.
fresh off the showroom floor R6, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Um, but, I also got into a lot of trouble. I got
That's
I
okay.
got my I got my first ticket when I got my license. When I
Yes.
got my motorcycle's license, it was
Love
like within the first week of getting it.
it.
Like I
Love it.
still just had like the little paper thing. I hadn't
Not even a
even
hard
gotten
plate
the
yet?
I
Oh,
didn't got
yeah,
it.
that's sick. That's a good thing, you're having fun in life, Nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell that story one day, but today's about you, not me.
I respect it. I
All right.
respect it.
So, how did you stumble into drifting then?
Oh, man, that goes back to childhood days, I guess. I mean, as cliche as that sounds, but couple different things happened. My dad was a warehouse manager for Circuit City, and prior to that, because I'll jump into that here in a second. Prior to that, my brother's
Circuit
best
City.
friend,
You might as well say
yeah,
Radio Shack.
basically, right, yeah, right. My brother, though, my older brother, he had a friend, Stefan Gatabaku, and I give him all the credit. He's a Nova guy. He was drifting cars and got into drifting and stuff, and had like magazines, and we're talking like option stuff back in the day, and like
Okay.
grip videos and stuff like that. And then I heard about like Dado and all these guys and stuff like that. So it kind of just came from my older brother's friends, and then my dad working at Circuit City. They sponsored Formula Drift, and that was just it for me. So like I was everything for me from the late '90s of Japan culture into the early 2000s was all seeing cars go sideways, and I just fell in love with it, and haven't stopped since. So that's it. I credit my father, may God rest his soul, and my older brother for jumping me into this addiction that I have now. So it's 100% their fault.
Well, I always find it so interesting, kind of like how everybody gets into it, because obviously most people's like quick reference for drifting is Tokyo Drift.
Fast
Like
and the
that was
Furious.
like
Yep.
when so many people stateside were
Yeah.
introduced to it. And I
Yeah.
have to say, it was the same way for me. Like I think I had seen it, but I hadn't really registered it as something, because whether people realize it or not, they had seen it in other movies and stuff. They had seen the techniques, but it
Yeah.
wasn't specific to like using it. And
Exactly.
or racing or competition or anything along those lines. And I didn't actually know it existed, if you will. Yes, I had seen the skill set, but I didn't know it existed. And even in that movie, it's happening in Japan.
Right.
So
Yep.
I live within like an hour, 15 minutes of like four different tracks. I have one that's 20 minutes from me, one that's 45 minutes from me. And it's kind of like, as soon as I stumbled across takeovers first, and I'm always honest about that. I stumbled across that first,
That
and then
happens.
when I realized drifting was the thing, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I don't mind this." And then
Yeah.
here I am. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the fact that you got exposed to it like kind of young is really cool, because I didn't get exposed to it until I was in my 40s.
Yeah. It was, and it just never stopped too. I think like even after my dad passed away when I was 14, so like in '06. So like he passed, and after that, my brother came out from the Marine Corps, things like that. We were just, hanging out, vibing, stuff like that, trying to figure out what we were
Okay.
going to do. And I ended up getting introduced to Hendrick, who ran Switchback. And if you know Ryan
Okay.
from, I guess,
I do.
Ice Cold. Yeah, so Ryan used to run a place called Auto Expectations, AE, back in the day,
Okay.
off of 606. They were partner companies, like right next to each
Wait,
other.
which Ryan? Because I know four.
Ryan that runs Hill, is it Hillyard? I think now,
Oh
Drift
yeah, yeah,
Blue.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Downey. Yeah, Ryan
I'm
Downey.
making I
So
was making sure we were on the
yeah,
same
yeah,
Ryan.
yep, yep, 100%. Yeah, so I met Downey back then too, when I was really young, like 15. Same time I met like
Okay.
Dan Savage and all these guys, and that's what it was at Switchback. That's all it was drift cars, and then he got
Okay.
into like road race stuff and things. So like it just, I was hanging out there all the time, like doing some apprentice stuff and learning fabrication work from him and everything, and it just kept me encapsulated everything drifting. So, and it was
So
cool.
With that being said, and the fact that you have what exactly is your current company that you have sticks and bricks for? What do you do?
Yeah, so I basically what they used to do, or what Switchback used to do back then, aftermarket fabrication, installs,
Okay.
pretty much everything. I just got back tonight from working on a GT 500. All my drift cars are there, so we build everything in house. Yeah, cage work to tube fronts to anything you can think of, and we
Okay.
work with Link ECU, with Haltech. I'm trying to think of everybody. We got a bunch of people that we work with, so and it's cool. It's
Okay.
good. I never wanted to go brick and mortar. That was never my thing. I wanted to stay mobile, but you can't stay mobile forever and have
Yeah.
a forever home. So it was about time I did it, and I'm glad I did. It
Okay.
worked out great. So
Okay. Now, is that what you have always done, or what led you to get to there?
um, so I mean, I kind of grew up working on cars, right? So from like age 4 and 5, from what I can remember, my dad had like a Nova, and my mom had a
Okay.
Duster. So we've been wrenching on stuff since we could move, and
Yeah.
that's what it was for me. And then I got into the aftermarket side of things, and when I was finally able to like work, I legally, I guess, right? So I ended up moving into automotive retail, and that's where my career kind of just went that way.
Okay.
Became a manager, district manager. Today I'm a director for Ford Motor Company, and still run my business outside of that. So always
Okay.
busy, always doing stuff. But yeah, automotive's just anything automotive. That's what I've been into.
I grew up being the kid that handed her dad tools. So I've always had an appreciation for cars, and I can do like all like my general stuff like spark plugs and oil changes and things like that. But on the flip side of that, I'm like, I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's even a thing for us. Like my I got customer cars there that we're moving through, and we're getting stuff done quick, and then my Skyline's been down for almost 2 years, and it sucks because that's like my
Yeah.
pro am car. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
But
I'll get to it.
but
You know?
that's kind of normal though, because before
Yeah.
we hopped on, I said to you, I was like, I love all this media stuff, but it doesn't pay my bills. It
Right.
contributes to an extent, but it's such a convoluted space. But it's like the carpenter that doesn't fix the things that need to be fixed in their home, or the
Yep.
remodeler who is like a quarter way through a bathroom remodel of one of the bathrooms in their home.
Yep.
It's like your
Yep.
thing gets backburnered for all the other things that need to get done.
And it was so crazy for me. I was like, I'm not gonna be like that. I got the shop space. I'll get my stuff done. And no, it was instant. I got busy quick, and I was like, well, okay, I see what everybody's talking about at this point. So
Yeah.
yeah,
My
yeah.
friend Lauren says, "Wow, great hustle, man."
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot more to that too. I mean, besides that, we got a lot.
right. Well, I was gonna say, so you're like everybody else. You have like the big boy job that pays all of the bills. You
Yeah.
have the passion project thing that you like to do, and then
Yep.
that passion project also landed in event hosting, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So me going mobile and doing like mobile stuff, and then learning tuning and all the other things I did in like 2010 allowed me to drive a lot more and blah blah blah. Then we flash forward all these years later to like 2019. I
Okay.
had a 350Z that in 2018 I drifted one event at Summit Point, ended up blowing up the VQ because VQs do VQ things, and
Okay.
I got kind of bored. And at the time, there wasn't. I don't know if I was the first one. I definitely wasn't the first one by any means, but there wasn't a lot of like JZ swap 350Zs. So I slapped the
Mhm.
JZ in that thing and loved it. And I remember finishing it, and I was like, shit, I really need to find a place to go test, and I really need to like do a private day. And that's how that kind of bred what the AMA event series became. I reached out to some buddies, talked to Jeff from Shenandoah, and said, hey, I really want to have a private day. Is this a possibility of me and like 10 friends? I just built a new car. He's like, yeah, come on down. Private day turned out to be one of the coolest things we ever did. And from that point, birthed the AMA event series. And
Okay.
we were rocking ever since then. And it was it was to the point I took a little break after hosting for a while, and I was like, I need to focus on working on stuff again. And
Sure.
yeah, I have a townhouse with one car garage, and I'm too old to be bending down all the time. I need a place to lift, So that's I got lucky. Honestly, I wasn't even looking for a shop. I was looking
Mhm.
for like a big 50, like 30 by 50 storage unit RV thing, whatever.
Okay.
And shout out to Mike Perez. He has one, and that's where I got the idea from. And
Okay.
yeah, somehow this place kind of landed on Facebook Marketplace, and I messaged the
Okay.
guy, and a week later it became a reality.
Sweet.
So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So it's cool. It's a headache. I'll tell you that. It's a lot. There's so
Yeah.
much to it, and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing most days. We figure it out. We figure it out.
My
So
usual go-to is, "Why do I hate myself?" You
right. Exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, I'm like, why do I keep doing this? This is dumb. It's like
Yeah,
drifting.
I'm over here like,
It's so
"Why do I do
stupid.
this? Why do I
Yeah,
do this to myself?"
absolutely. And I say the same thing when I get behind the wheel of a car. I'm going sideways. I'm like, what? Why? This is dumb, but it's so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. But yeah,
Well,
that's it.
that's a lot of the chatter in the background right now, especially like from like the media side of things, is everybody realizes, like everybody comes to a point where they register, they're like, this is probably never going to make me money.
Nope.
And then they go, why am I doing this? And
Right.
I've seen it with the drifters too, with the drivers a lot of time. And there's like this moment where you have to make a choice. You make a choice on, is it the thing that you're passionate about and you don't mind throwing your hard-earned money at it, regardless of the outcome, regardless. You hope, you cross your fingers that something really cool and epic is going to come from it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Right.
Or do you just drop all of it and go find something else? And I think that's why we see so much turnover with media people, because not everybody wants to pay for media. And half the time, because media is free entry to the spaces, media doesn't always get paid, even though they show up, because they got to build a portfolio. And
Right.
then the drivers technically don't ever have to pay for anything because you put the stuff on social media, so you have a portfolio. It is
Yep.
the weirdest space, one of the weirdest spaces that I have been in.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that too. Like, how do you? I think I touched on this on the podcast you had with Paul and stuff. It's like, how do you guys view that when it comes to media? Like, is it like an expectation to get compensated for your time, or like do you guys see it as more of a portfolio build to get you into something different? And I always ask all my media people this question because
Well,
it's
I
it's
think it's
important to know.
tough. I think it's tough because I think when most people get into it, they just think it's like the action stuff is really cool and exciting, and they want to do the cool thing.
Right.
And then somewhere along the line, like it could start as a hobby at first, and then somewhere along the hi Cody, somewhere along the line, oh, I need to make money with this. I'm spending my time, and there's gas and food and time
Right.
and blah 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 and software, and
Right.
my camera equipment costs more than the shitbox party cars. You know what I mean? And I love me a good
Yeah.
shitbox. Like it's one of my favorite things.
I respect it. I respect it. Yeah. I I feel you on that. I got a decent camera. Like my Sony's pretty good. Shout out to my media guy Christian Price. But like when I saw the price of that, I was like, oh my god, it's like three
Uh-huh.
thousand dollars. They're like, nah, screw that. I'm gonna go buy tires and another car. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's why I
Yeah.
asked because it's like I know there's a big investment there, and it's like
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Do you want to get to that point where you are
So
invited to events and stuff to get paid?
personally for me, I find all of it to be a catch-22. So I'm going to be shifting my content this year. I'm still going to show up regardless of whether I'm paid or not.
Right.
And one of the reasons that I do that, one is for the networking, two is for the adventure,
Right.
three is for the people, because the people are the reason I keep showing up. It's not the cars. I
That
mean, a
makes sense.
car's a car. It's what you do with the car. And like I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to some of the events, because I think the pro drivers are low hanging fruit for media. So the pro cars, everybody wants to shoot the pro car because it looks cool and it's going to get you the likes and it's going to get you all the things. Um, but I catch shit in some spaces because of the fact that I encourage the party cars, which sometimes looks like derby and not like actual drifting. But
Right.
my perspective on it is, if they don't have that moment where they learn how not to run into another person, where they they need to learn what taking a tire to the door feels like, taking a tire to a tire feels like. They probably need to learn what hitting a wall feels like so they don't do it again. So it's
Yeah,
like going through that process with the party car is part of the process as far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't drive, so that's why it's an unpopular opinion.
right, right.
um,
Yep,
but to me, everybody has to start somewhere, right?
right,
So if we discourage the grassroots guys because the pro guys think that you're supposed to do it only one certain way, that's a problem to me because then you've got a bunch of people who don't think that they're ever capable of getting to a certain point, and that's just wrong.
sure.
Everybody has the opportunity for opportunity. It's just what you do with it.
I agree with
Um,
that.
and if the only thing you ever want to do is drive with your homies, have at it. Have
Yeah,
fun
I'm
because
with that.
you're gonna spend your money there at the bar. Pick one. You know.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's got to have a hobby. I think to piggyback on that, like I have I'm fortunate enough to have friends that are pro guys, pro am guys, pro spec guys. Quite a few. Rich Whiteman
Yeah.
and Adam
Same.
Eichman. You know what I mean? So like these guys and like God Nate Chin. You know what I mean? Like even him and stuff.
Hmm.
And we all of us
I've
talk a lot.
I've talked to him. I've met Adam. They're
Yeah.
all lovely guys.
Yeah, and it's when you get to that point, I think, 'cause I'm not at that point, right? And like if you get to that point, I think a lot of it still comes down to well, most of these guys still have that grassroots thought process. It's just
Sure.
it's a different ball field you're playing on at that point because now
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
you know you want to go party with your friends with the bigger horsepower, and stuff. And I think it may have been Brian Hopp that said that. I don't know. I may be quoting Brian Hopp wrong. It may not have been him. Could have been somebody else. But it's like,
Right.
once you get to that point, like all your friends are here doing these things. Like you,
Yeah.
you still have your fun at your local events and stuff, which like your not even like low horsepower car, but your seat time car, your fun car, stuff like that. But when you're getting here and your friends are also climbing here, you're still kind of still in that same mindset. I just want to go out and have fun with my friends for that weekend.
Yeah.
But it
Right.
calls
Well,
for a
and I
time
think
out.
well, that was what I was going to say is I think unfortunately what happens is for some people there's a ceiling on costs. Like there's a
Yeah.
ceiling on money at some point.
Yep.
Unless you're really really exceptional or really really fortunate
Yeah.
and somebody else wants to help fund whatever it is that you're doing. Unless you can figure out how to fund yourself, because a lot of times most people don't even realize how much the drivers are funding what they're doing in formula drift, in pro spec,
Yep.
program, whatever words you want to use. They're
Yep.
still funding that. Doesn't mean that
Yep.
they don't have help in some ways, but a lot of times the help is in parts.
Yep.
It's in maintenance. It's not necessarily somebody throwing a ten or $20,000 check at them,
No.
and then
Yeah.
they have to figure out, do I have the big boy, big girl job that'll pay for all of this? Um, or do I have to figure out how to make that money somewhere else, whether that's through marketing, affiliates, whatever? And
Exactly.
I think that's why a lot of times there are people who they're not going to get to that point. One, because they just don't feel like it's worth it. And for most people, it's not.
Yeah.
And for some people it is, and I'll never knock that. You do you, boo. If you've got the balls and you got the skill on it, do
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Just
You got to have a program though. You really have
yes.
to. I go back to 2020, and I love Nate, Chen, Rich Whiteman. That's the homie. Shout out to Rich. I got to go see my nephew at some point here soon and see him. But talking with him and Alex Licklider, another homie. I love Alex too. Like,
Well, he's
yeah,
another one. He left the space.
yeah. And there's a reason. I won't put his business out there why, but
No, I know. He
yeah,
talked
yeah,
about it. He talked about
yeah. But
it.
those guys are funded the same way, like out of pocket a lot, and I won't say dollar figures or numbers, but another good friend of mine who's in pro spec now, who lives 15 minutes from me, who drives a Mustang. He spent a ton of money on his car to get it to pro spec, and it's his own money, so
Yeah.
it's definitely expensive. But I completely am that guy that if you have the skills and you can market yourself and you can get to that point, I think you should do it if you have the opportunity. It's a rare opportunity to get to
Absolutely.
that space, you know. And
Absolutely.
I think that comes back to my big brother Dan Savage. I love Dan. He got there, and Dan's like the local DMV guy that made it, and we were like, man, this is so cool. And hearing the story from how he got there and what it cost and all the other shit, I was like, man, that's crazy that that's
Yep.
the dollar figure. But had he not got there, everybody wouldn't know how badass he is that we already know. So
Well, but think about what that dollar amount looks like now.
oh yeah, double easily, if
Yeah.
not triple.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Insane, insane. That's why it's crazy. Like I drive a lot. I used to. I'm going back
Mhm.
this year. I'm proudly announcing I'm drifting. I'm trying to drift at least once a month, like different places and things. And there was one
Okay.
point I did like 30 events over 18 months, and that cost me a ton of money. And back then I had sponsors and supporters. Wasn't for like FD, chasing dreams and stuff, but just
Mhm.
my own stuff. And it cost a ton of money 5 years ago. And now I'm looking at it
Yeah.
today. I'm like, holy shit, this is a lot of damn money. So got to work harder and be able to pay for your dreams, I guess. So
Yeah, well, and I think some of that goes back to like I have talked to some of the some track owners as well, or people that work for a track, and they handle marketing and money and all the things, and the amount of money it costs to run a full day at the track is insane to me.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy, especially if it's one of the bigger tracks. Smaller tracks, that don't have all the requirements that maybe they should. They can pull off certain things and get away with it, but the bigger tracks, like having emergency on site alone, is a ridiculous dollar amount. Let alone the track workers running a building, all those sort of things, all the things that add up.
insurance and everything. I know all too
Oh
well
yeah,
about that.
insurance
Yeah,
especially.
yeah,
All right.
it's super fun.
So enough about all of that. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
from a media perspective, it's definitely one of those things where you either keep putting, like, it's like any business. Most businesses don't last. They don't reach that 5-year mark because everybody panics,
yeah,
especially if you can't run the business in tandem with like having like a steady income of some sort.
right.
Um, so I think that's why we see the turnover rate as much as we do. Sometimes it's even just being in the right place at the right time, which is one of the reasons I don't mind showing up everywhere. But I have the benefit of also being single. My child is in his 20s, and I own my home. Like I can do what I want.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter what I do because I don't have anything that's tying me to like one spot. Like even my freelance work, as long as I have an internet connection to my laptop, hell, some of it I can do from my phone. You
that's
know
sick.
what I mean? So
That's cool.
it's just it gives me a freedom that I can go do these things. Like I have two more. It's January. I have two more events this month. I have two private days for birthdays, and they just randomly like, "Hey, you want to come?" I'm like, duh.
Hell yeah, hell yeah,
Sign
yeah.
me
Of course
up. What,
you
what
do.
do we? What do I get to do? Can I do what I want? Because
Yeah,
that's kind of it. The smaller tracks and the smaller events are really nice, especially private days, because there's no requirement for what I have to do, which is
right.
why I think this year I've kind of switched to the concept of I think I'm going to do some things a little bit more vlog style and talk about the events, talk about the experience a little bit more versus just having photos and videos to post to social media.
Right.
Um, I have more media than I will probably ever touch in my lifetime.
That
Like
yeah,
that is how much video and photo that I have. And I sit there and I'm like, you could do this with that. And then you're like, meh, because
yeah.
you know how much time it takes. How much time it takes.
I don't envy media for that. Like my sister Hannah. That's my. She is like my number two for AMA. She's like media lead. I don't.
Yeah.
There's so much that I didn't process, like how many pictures get taken in one day just to get
Uh-huh.
like one shot. And it's like, holy crap. And again, I give credit where credit's due for media. You guys go through hell to get us to look good, and I appreciate that because there's plenty of times where we don't look good as drivers. We're like, oh hell yeah, we killed it. We didn't kill it. But especially her
Well,
doing like yourself and stuff. Like that's yeah,
in the
it's
grand scheme of things, you can have a really pretty car and be
Yeah.
a shitty driver, and I can still make that look good. But
Yep.
to make the shitty car look good, you have to be a damn good driver. You know what I
That's why I
mean?
try to keep my car looking good. That's right. Yeah. That's it. No, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And I'm starting to get back into that mindset. I used to care about I used to care about stylish stuff and things like that. Then for some odd reason I
Yeah.
jumped into the missile craze and I fucking hate it. I'm not that guy. I'm really not. My shit's getting all cleaned up as we speak. Being arrow in the skyline, like I'm wrapping my BMW now as a new livery
Okay.
that I'm not haven't shared yet that's coming out. So like
Okay.
everything's getting
Okay.
changed. So yeah, I can't do it. I respect it for some people. We want to represent yourself, and
Yeah.
that's how I view cars. Not
Yeah.
necessarily if you're competing or not competing. It is what it is. But when I
Yeah.
see your car there, it's still a representation of you. So how do you want to present yourself to the rest of the world, and especially to your own community? Because this is a community, and we're small. So
Yeah.
you know, you got guys like Kevin. And I love Kevin. That's my dude. That's my brother. I love that dude. But his stuff still looks uniform. It's not. He
Yeah.
drives, and Kevin drives his ass off, and everyone's like, "Oh, this shit's bashed up." I'm like, it's got some dings and bends in here, but like Kevin's stuff still looks uniform and good,
Right.
and he can drive. And then
Yeah.
there's some others that I see their cars like halfway destroyed, and then they're looping, and I'm like, well, take some pride in your driving and then clean your stuff up a little bit. No, missile culture. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's one of those things where I can see it kind of from both sides of the fence. Like,
Sure.
there's some guys that'll say, like, if you don't have matching panels, I'm not driving with you. Okay, that's fair, because you
Yeah.
you feel like that person's not going to be able to accomplish the thing. But the guy who has the missile, to me, is still learning. That's
Yeah.
my thought process on it. Very often, that's the person that is still learning, and it
Yeah.
is okay for them to have the shitbox party car. It is,
Sure.
because they
Yeah.
haven't learned enough to have a clean car.
Right. 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 I'm with you. I'm with you. I do. I do think though, as long as you're learning, and my
Yeah,
thing is like after your first year though, take your off season and just a little something. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
yeah,
harping on everybody to spend 3-4 grand to
yeah,
change
yeah,
out on other stuff, but like if your fender's completely caved in and you come back out in the second season and it's still caved in, like come on, bro. Like a fender's not that expensive. Let's kind of
yeah.
make it look halfway there. But again, I don't know. That's my
Well, we
thing.
have here in Virginia, we've got there's an Amico, and now I have to remember. I feel like it was like $700 for a paint job.
Hell yeah.
Uh, what is it? Oak Heights. I cannot think of his name. Justin. Is it Justin
Yeah,
Stickley?
that's my dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
So
good dude.
he works for the Amico out in Winchester.
Oh, Mako. The one in the Mako in
Mako. Yeah.
Winchester. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I work
And
across the street from them.
yeah, and he did such a great job on Ryan Downey's car, man. And I'm like,
Yep.
you paid how much for this, sir? And I was like,
What's crazy about that place, I opened a shop for FedEx when I worked for FedEx for a little bit across the street from them. And then they blew up like doing drift cars and race cars and stuff. I'm like, man, that's so
uh-huh.
sick. But yeah, they've always done good work. But yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's such a small world. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, so because I went with Ryan to go pick the car up, like we did footage of it before it went, and then we did footage of it when he picked it up. And it was clean. Like it looked great. Like he had some parts that needed to be repainted, but
Right.
he had some new parts that he had gotten, some new body parts that so that everything was even. And I think it was only like $700. I know $700 is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But I also know I also know that it can cost a lot more than that depending on where
Oh
you're
my god.
taking it.
Yeah,
And
that's a
let
steal.
alone if you're putting a livery or a wrap or anything on it.
Yeah, I'll say most wraps nowadays. We do wraps out of AMA. I mean, you're talking, $2,500, $3,000. You know what I mean, with good
Yeah.
materials and stuff. So $700, that's a no brainer. Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
skip
100%.
skip a drift weekend
I,
for that weekend if you had to
so
paint it.
I'm going to toss this out there.
Yeah,
I want to try wrapping a car. So if you guys
yeah.
ever have anything I can practice on, I want in.
Yeah. So reach out to if you comment on like any of the AMA stuff.
Okay.
Ghost Graphics is who we're kind of with for rapping and stuff. It's one of my really close friends, and he came into the shop to do rap stuff, and he's teaching me some stuff too. So we offer all that services there through him. So yeah, if you reach out, I guarantee you he'd be on board to try to help with that. He loves teaching people.
Okay.
He's the same way.
Yeah, I want to
He
try it
loves
like
it.
once. I don't even care if I ever do it again. I just want to try it once because it just looks so satisfying.
Yeah,
It's just,
I just ruined like $100 worth of rap like literally 2 nights ago. I
oh
screwed myself
no.
up. Yeah, it was bad. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, so he's gonna come over and fix my stuff for me tomorrow too. So yeah, I'll let him
Okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah, I'll let him know. So that'd be cool. It's a
Cody
good story though.
says Cody says 3K for his wrap and 1,500 for livery. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It
crazy to me.
doesn't shock me by any means. And Cody, that's Sandoval, I believe. I can't see
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
commenting, but yeah,
That it is. It's Cody
as
Sandoval.
it, yeah. So
Yeah.
Cody's another one that believes in his car, his image, and himself, and then also
Yeah.
he's a fucking driver. Cody, I love you, dog. You are a driver, so don't let anybody tell you different. I was incredibly impressed by him hopping in Kenny Klein's car, which is a pretty rowdy
Yeah.
LS car, and he killed it. So shout out to
Well,
Cody. So
Kenny's repainting his. He posted
I
about that. I
heard,
think it was like yesterday or this morning. And I'm like, I kind of like the color and I love the colored
yeah,
plexi. Nobody does the colored plexi. Like I know it's his car when I see it.
hundred
And that's
percent.
one of my big things. A black BMW looks like another fucking black BMW.
True,
And I'm
no
just like,
disagree.
I don't
Yeah,
I don't know which one that is.
right. Yeah, there's so many. So that's why, like, I love unique stuff. I'm glad we brought that up. Like, that's why,
Yeah.
you know, Dan, shout out to Dan Savage. I love Dan, but Dan always get on me. He's like, dude, you need to keep shit simple. Like, you're taking time off, not getting seat time, and then you're taking, time away from the track and stuff. Keep it simple. And like, I agree. And I'm older, I get like I have a simple seat time car, but like, I love unique stuff. Like the F22. There's not a lot of people you see with an F22 that come out to go drifting, unless it's a fully pro car. Skylines aren't super common out there on the track. Things like that is what gets me going. I'm building another car that I can't talk about yet that's going to be out there that's pretty cool and unique. And it's fun. It's fun to have something different. So that way you're still like, oh, I know who the hell that is. That's Alan. He's the only one that's going to drift a car that's going
Well,
to
and
cost
I
me money.
love that too because that has been like the narrative for this year. Like Cody's in the comments still too, and he said thank you, bro, and he
Cool.
said Kenny is doing big things next year. He's like I can't say what yet, but I'm involved. A lot of the people that I've been talking to, like everybody seems very ready, and
Yeah.
we keep saying next year because the drift season technically hasn't started trackside yet. Not that
Right.
there's not drifting events happening, but it's technically out of season for most people.
Yep.
And Travis said, well, I'm glad I changed my BMW from black to blue. Thank you, Travis. Okay. Love you.
Travis
Because
Johnson, I guess. Is that him?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's part
Uh
of the Shredder Co guys and stuff. I think I know him. So yeah.
yeah.
Cool dude.
So he changed to like a really like light kind of bright blue. And I'm like, okay, now I know that's him. It's really good time on Instagram.
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where if you have stickers on a windshield, I can work with that because I can figure out who you are. But if you literally have nothing on the car, everybody, it's like, guys, come on. Like, there's got to be something that differentiates you from that. Now, if you don't care, that's fine too. If you don't want to be outed, you don't want to be tagged, that's okay.
Right. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Nah, we want that.
we got David Gates in here too, Mr. Jet Fuel himself. He runs the jet cars at
Oh, sweet.
MRI very often. The jet
Oh, cool.
the long angular things that look like they're gonna explode when you go down the track.
Hell yeah. That sounds like
Night,
fun. That sounds like some
night
cool stuff.
Timmy. I know I'm trying. He's on with me. I think in 2 weeks. We're gonna
Sweet.
talk about what that looks like, how it works, and I'm surprised by the fact that they only drive with one hand, and like
Oh.
it's like the strangest thing to me.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm like that seems dangerous.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, not doing that. I'm good.
He said flirting with 300 miles per hour.
Yeah, brother, I'm good. I'm okay. No. I'm okay. No, thank you. I'm good.
What I love about this conversation is that there's this voice in the back of my head going, "You could do that."
Right. Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to try it once.
My,
Whether
my
I
other
live or die, I don't care. I just want to try it once.
my other little demon on the other shoulder is like, do it. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm not gonna do that. I'm good. I'm past it. Yeah, no, I can't do that. That's congratulations if y'all do it. I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's good. No, that's sick.
But
That's cool.
that's one of those things that this year I want to time so that I can go to one of the events that he's driving at, because I want to try at least once getting like photo and video of what the cars look like.
That's cool.
Um, just because like it just seems so cool. And it's just I don't know. It's definitely something I would love to try.
Hell
He
yeah.
said, I guarantee you I can train anyone to do it. Don't threaten me with a good time. David, you have
Yep.
met me.
Y'all have fun. Yeah. I'm good. I'm a driver. I'm okay though. I'm not pushing my envelope on that one. I got a 10-year-old to get home to. I'm okay. I'm good.
Oh, July 18th. I'll put you on the starting line. He's
Oh
still
shit.
threatening me with a good time. I'm putting it on the calendar, David. July
Oh
18th. What
shit.
we doing? You know, inbox me later. All right, it's going on the calendar. David Gates, to be determined. Never a threat, only promises. I love it.
That's what I'm talking, bro. That's
I
what I'm
love
talking,
it.
bro. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. So drifting, body work,
Yeah.
full-time job,
Yep.
dad, all
Yep.
of the things.
Everything.
Um,
Yeah. All of it. Yeah.
so talk to me about the event stuff, because you've got some cool things coming and maybe some changes coming too.
Yes. Yeah. So we came back to hosting last year and it kind of came out of nowhere. I had reached out to Pantera, which is like the most amazing place on the East Coast. I reached out to them in 2023. Yeah, 23 when I was hosting at Dominion Raceway. And kind of just, wanted to see what the opportunity would be like. I know no one had ran there for a while. There's a pretty bad stain for some things that happened at that track from another person that was hosting.
Okay.
So that's a long story, but long story short, community got robbed. They got stolen from. A lot of people got a
Oh,
lot of money
wow.
taken. Yeah, and it became a pretty bad time, for East Coast drifting and for honestly for drifting as a whole. So track
Okay.
wasn't allowing like drifting to happen anymore. There was so much other stuff going on. So anyhow, I put my hat in the bid to say, hey, let me know if anything ever comes back, and I would love to happen, love to be there. We flash forward to 24, about a year later, out of nowhere, get an email saying, "Hey, sorry it took me so long. We've been doing a lot of stuff. They're a military training facility as well for some
Okay.
PMPs, and
I've never been there.
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I
So they
didn't
do
even
like,
know it was there. Somebody
yeah,
mentioned it to me. I was at another event and I'm like, they're going where? And they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I okay.
It's so hard to describe what it's like when you pull up. It's literally cut into the side of a mountain, and it's crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, they do a lot of like, private military contracting stuff and like some other stuff that they do, and then some off road stuff. So 24 came around, got an email, and they're like, what do you do? Like, blah, blah, blah. I sent them my whole digital resume of all the events and stuff that I had put on prior to that and some references and stuff. Didn't really go anywhere. 25 hit, and obviously I'm full time at Ford. I got my daughter and all the other stuff going on and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I even want to host anymore, but whatever. If somebody reaches out, we'll have a conversation. At that time, um, just randomly, I reached back out just to say, hey, if anything comes up, let me know. I'd love to still be involved if I can host an event there. The same time, Dominion reached back out to me and said, hey, we're going to be doing some stuff this year. We'd like for you to come out and host, bring your
Okay.
team, blah, blah, blah. And that same day, Pantera got back to me. And I was
Okay.
like, listen, um, the Dominion thing, I love Dominion. Shout out to Will, who's down that way. He's an amazing guy and stuff, but it just didn't fit what we wanted to do. There was too many
Okay.
things that became we're gonna do it this way, and like we just want you to be there with your team. And my team's like, hey, let's go adventure and see what happens. So
Okay.
Pantera got locked in, and it became a very invite only type of conversation because this place is it's dangerous if you don't know how to handle a car, and it's also one of the most fun places if you do. So we knew we couldn't
Okay.
just have it public and open for everybody, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But in all honesty, it's saving people because if you go off, there's no barriers, there's no guardrails.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
you could hurt yourself really bad. So we
Okay.
got our drivers locked in. We sent invites out, and without making any announcement on Facebook or Instagram whatsoever, we pulled up in October on my birthday last year. And yeah, we threw down and had the most AMA style event that could ever come back. And we're all about vibes. We're all about good times. We're about safety. We're about driver progression. So you'll never see an AMA event that has typically more than 50 drivers. And people are like, oh,
Okay.
that's weird. Like, let's have like a big 100, 200 driver event. And that's not what we're there for. We're not there
Okay.
for the dollar figure. We're not there to try to get rich. We're there to make sure the facility stays top notch. We're there to make sure the facility gets their money. But the biggest thing that we can proudly say is that we love driver development and driver growth. And we've taken a lot of people that have come drive with us and help elevate, where they want to be at in their driving. So yeah, that worked out. And it was, I can honestly say, everybody that was there from family and all the friends and girlfriends, everybody that showed up, people's wives and stuff that were there, and my daughter was there, um, girlfriend was there, like all the stuff, everybody that came out there, it became like my most favorite thing I've ever done drifting, period. And it's hard to say that because like I've done some crazy stuff, but like that staple was it for me. And yeah, I went back to them and said, I love this. What can we do? And they say, hey, let's see what we can do moving into next year, which is this year. So yeah, at the moment, yeah, we put a schedule out, things like that. And I'll say publicly, like, there's never a guarantee with anything. And I think that's something that most people don't know unless you're an event host. Unless you own the facility, there's no guarantee that anything's actually going to stay the way it is. So right now we've learned some information about some things, and we're not going to fully go into what just yet, but we've paused some of the applications at the moment just to one dial back a little bit. We got almost 500 applications in less than 20 days. Like it was the craziest thing ever. But we want to make sure with this new information we found out that things can work out in the long run and things can work out for us before we go any farther. But regardless of anything, AMA is always going to be there. AMA is always going to be hosting events. That's just what we do. We love it. And I hope it's going to be something that we can stick around for the long term. So we've been here for 6 going on 7 years hosting events already, and I don't plan to go anywhere. But also too, and I think we spoke about this before we went on live. Like I see Alan and AMA, and then you see Pantera. We're not just exclusive to one place. Like Pantera is
Sure.
incredibly special to us at this point, and we want to only be there if we can. But I'm not against hosting other places. I'm not
Okay.
against hosting some other things, and I'll say tonight publicly that we got some driver program stuff coming up. That'll get announced on my page and stuff like that. But we're going to be doing some kind of coaching school days to get people more into the sport. We picked up a 350Z that me and my brother, shout out to Devin, he's part of AMA as well. We've already fully done everything to it, angle kit, wheels, all types of stuff to try to get more people into the sport. So there's so much we're going to be doing just besides being at one spot.
Okay.
We want everybody to come experience, drifting, and wherever
Sure.
that lands us, lands us. The ultimate goal is to build our own track one day. So that's what we
I'm
want to
gonna
do.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go into the comments real quick, and we're gonna come back
Yeah,
to
go.
that.
Sure.
Just because there's several things happening here.
Okay.
Bickle, I think Christine or Christina. Can't wait to see events back up and running. And then Cody says, yeah, it looks so sick. And Travis said, I'm hoping my application gets approved. He's like, I'm so excited if I have the privilege to drive there for the first time. Christine said, same. Cody said, same.
Yeah.
uh,
If I could touch
and
on
it,
that for
well,
a second.
Yeah, I'll get through them real quick, and then we'll
Okay,
circle back. And then
that's perfect.
Travis, just being involved with AMA would be amazing. Uh,
Thank you.
Travis said, "Cody, hell yeah, you know you're getting approved." And then Cody said, "Being 100% honest, the track scares me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to touch on that really quick. Like,
Okay.
this is a scary, dangerous place, and I'm gonna be as serious as I possibly can about this. This is You have to be confident in your ability to drive. You have to be confident in yourself. This isn't a place to come to learn. This isn't a place to
Yeah.
come to try to attempt. And they had that before. They had where they were doing like some instruction days and like they're sectioning the track and stuff. But how we were running it at this past event in October, it's a full 2 mile course and
Okay.
it's insane. When you're sitting down at the start line, you can't even see at the very top. So it's
So
cool.
a booster is asking if is that a down the hill on the side of a mountain event? I think he's like referring to like Drift Appalachia kind of concept, which it's not exactly because Drift
Um,
Appalachia is like more like on the
yeah,
road and the road is
yeah.
sectioned off versus being a track.
So yeah, we can take let's take a minute and talk about that. Like
Okay.
I first and foremost, shout out to Brian Eggert. I love that dude. Um, as we were speaking before we went live, Yoshi, another guy. Shout out to Yoshi. If it was not for Yoshi from Drift Nirvana, who moved to Japan, and it was not for Brian of US Drift, I would not be here today. Period. End of story. Those two are mentors for me with event hosting and everything else. And Brian is such an iconic person on not only just the East Coast, not even just drifting, but racing as a whole. We would not have drifting as we do in the States today. And this is my opinion. This is also some facts, and people can argue me all they want. I don't care if it wasn't for Brian. So, what Brian and I think Derek King, and I think there's one other person, Edgar, I believe, from Drift Indy, I believe, what they did to have Drift Appalachia is insane. We are not
Sure.
Drift Appalachia. We are not the same. None of that. You know what I mean? I never will, claim to say that like we're even on the same category. That event series is amazing. It changed United States drifting. Period. It brought Toge to the U.S. and I'll out myself here. It's been years, so it's whatever. But I started drifting when we moved to West Virginia right after my dad passed away. So like I started when people were like hearing the cliche, oh, he started in Toge. That was me. Like I started on Route 9, old section of Route 9
Okay.
before you go into. We lived in a place called Shannondale, which is up in the mountains near
Okay.
Harper's Ferry. So
I
those
know where that
roads
is.
were, yeah. So like the old downhill Route 9, that's where I learned how to
Hmm.
drift at. And these
Okay.
places were abandoned and stuff. So like seeing Brian come out and do Toge stuff, I'm like, this is what I grew up doing. Like this is insane for me,
For
you know.
anybody
So
watching who doesn't know what toge means, can you explain that?
yeah, yeah. So mountain racing, basically, in a sense. You got a lead car and a chase car, and that lead car is booking it either uphill toge, downhill toge, and you're trying to get as close as you can to stay on that car to not have a big time difference between lead to chase at that point. Now, toge for me was toge drifting and stuff like that, where I'm just on mountain roads, and it for me then was West Virginia roads, and trying
Yeah.
to not kill myself and roll my car, which sorry, Devin, my brother. I accidentally messed his car up doing some things one night, but that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah,
Long
Toge is
time
awesome.
ago.
Yeah, it was forever. He'll get over it.
It's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, like to see Toge and like that mountainous Japanese like stuff that we thrive to go do here in the States, Drift Appalachia is just insane. I would love the opportunity to drive it one day, regardless
Is
if
your
I'm at Pantera or
is your brother's name Philip?
That's my older brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my
Okay.
older one. Yeah,
He commented on YouTube. I had to turn the YouTube comments off the screen because I had
I
people
saw.
coming in that were saying some really nasty
Yeah,
things.
I saw something. You could kept it up.
So
I don't care.
I
That's
turned
fine.
it off.
Yeah, yeah. No, I saw some of it. Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't even going to talk about it. I've dealt. That's something else like to go into before I go back to the Drift Appalachia thing. But like I've dealt with so much of that growing up in my
Yeah.
life that there's not a lot of me hosting events and things like that. So I've heard shit forever, and I don't care. It doesn't make a damn difference, you know.
Well,
So it
Philip
is what it is.
commented, he said the days of Route 9 drifting, having fun, and the massive parking lot in Martinsburg, those
Yes,
were the
yes,
days.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was a kid with a 500 horsepower S14 throwing backies behind a Home Depot in Charlestown. So, but yeah. So anyway, going back to it, like AMA stuff is not US Drift, right? I had so
Yeah,
much inspiration from US Drift that my thought process, my tech sheet, all this stuff from Brian and from Ben. Shout out to Ben from US Drift too. I love that dude. That was so much derived from what they do that I have the massive, massive respect for them. And again, I hope I could get an invite to drive DA one day. I know me personally right now, until my Skyline's done, I wouldn't trust myself driving DA at all until I'm ready and confident again. And it's similar thought process with how Pantera is. It's dangerous, and you're moving, you're
sure.
cooking. Team Hayes was doing third, fourth gear backies and stuff. You're moving fast, and
Yeah,
it's I will say very openly, like, cages are going to be one of those things that have to happen. We're going to have to encourage
yeah,
that no matter what. So it's scary if you don't, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. So
yeah,
and
yeah, no,
again,
it's understandable.
I don't know if that's the only place. I don't know if
Yeah.
Alan might, buy a racetrack one day. Who knows? But anyway, it's
I
always going to
just
be safety first.
I would like my laminated entry card if
Yeah,
Alan builds a racetrack,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, 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 yeah. Send an inquiry.
Laminated media.
AMAmotorsportsllc.com. There you
And
go.
I want it to be printed in gold, you
Oh
know.
shit. Okay. Yeah. We'll have to talk to Hannah. Have to send her an email at Hannah Moon Photography. We'll help you out with that. Yeah.
Hannah, I need you to create this thing. Thank
There
you.
you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. No.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Team Hayes. So Hayes, I saw when they did the whole final bout at Summit Point,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but when I was at Hyperfest, I was doing passenger video with Kylie, and so we were having a good old time going around. We were drifting, and all of a sudden, because I have the footage, all of a sudden, whoom, Hayes somehow landed in the new quarter panel.
Sounds right.
and,
Sounds right.
and he was like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
So we're like down on the ground, like trying to
Pulling
pull
it
on
out.
the corner panel and pull it back out.
Kylie is another one, man. I'm so glad you know
I
him.
love
Kylie,
him. I love
he,
him.
we go
You talk
back to
about
like early
you
days
talk
too.
about a down to earth guy that's just there
Yes.
to have a good time,
Yes.
and so skilled having that good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Kylie's amazing.
your brother said something else. He said, "Can't lie, miss the drift race scene, but support
Yeah.
AMA all the time. Super proud of you, bro, and how far you have come."
I appreciate it. He taught me a lot too. I won't take away from him. He was more of
Yeah.
he was definitely a road race type of guy, and
Okay.
he had a really awesome WRX a few years back, and he was road
Is
racing.
that the one you annihilated?
No, 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 no. So my little brother is the car that I destroyed. Yeah, yeah. I haven't broken any of his stuff yet. So, but no, yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. My brother did some cool stuff. I wish he would come back to it. He's got my nieces and my niece and nephews. They are they're all doing things. My one nephew's in junior RTC. My niece is in band, and then my younger nephew, similar to my little one, they got some autism and stuff, so he's got his hands full all the time. But I'll say for a guy who's got his hands full and working full time, like he's always down to support me, and I can't thank him and my younger brother Devin enough, and my other brother Joe, who's I'm sure probably watching it that too. I got a good support system behind me for sure, so
That's awesome.
it's good, yeah. So, but yeah, no, we'll see what happens. I'll say that when I'm going back to
Okay.
Pantera and the whole drift event stuff and everything.
Okay.
Nothing is ever promised or guaranteed in life, and I've learned that a long time ago.
Oh,
And
100%.
I will forever try to keep the vibe of AMA going. And anybody that's attended my events, Kylie, one of them, they can tell you like this. That's what we care about. We want to make sure the drivers have a good time.
Can
And
we all talk about the fact of how sad I am that he painted it? I love the color. Do not
that
get me
shit's
wrong,
sick.
but I'm so sad he painted it.
That cattle snake is awesome. I love the color. That thing is so cool. He's so Yeah, man, do you know a lot of his background? You ever talked to him about some of his stuff?
S- I have talked to him a little bit. I won't say I know everything about him. He's one of those people that if I know he's there, I'll go seek him out, say hi, check in, like that
Yeah,
sort of thing. Because he really is. He's such just a down to earth guy. Like he'll just
he
kick
is.
it with you for a bit. He doesn't care.
Kylie and me, I love that dude. We had a falling out years ago over somebody
Okay.
else that did him really wrong and kind of pinned it on him, and it sucked because then we came back years later, and I love Kylie. Kylie is the reason. If you look at my Skyline, I got pictures on my Facebook or an AMA Skyline.
Okay.
If you get a chance, look at the AMA Motorsports R32 and then go back in
Okay.
Kylie's background. Kylie was the first person I ever met with a drift R32 way back in the day.
Okay.
I had so much inspiration from him. He's the reason, and Kylie, I'm giving you your flowers right now as I love you. You are the reason that I believe in big kits, being Sports Aero, D-Max. I built my car as a almost a homage to Kylie, and people didn't
Oh,
pick up
I
on
love
that.
that.
No, yeah, nobody did until Kylie kind of saw it, and he's like, "That looks real similar, man." I was like, "Yeah, it does for a reason, you know." So, but he changed. He changed a lot. People don't really know how how influential Kylie is. There wouldn't
Yeah,
be a lot of like chasers and S15s that came here
sure.
without him. So he was the guy kind of starting that. Like I never saw an S15 before he had. I saw it in magazines, but Kylie's the first one that had one that I knew of. He's the first
Right.
person who had a Skyline with a Jay-Z in it back in the day, and he was the very first person. I'm gonna say it. I don't think anybody else did it before him. I'm 99% sure he's the very first person, probably in the U.S. or the world, that put an LS on a Skyline. That was
Okay.
crazy. And this was like 2009 or something like that, 2008. So
Okay.
shout out to Kylie. He's always building like the craziest, coolest things, and I'm happy he's in his happy years where he just finally built
Yeah.
something that was for him. And that car's cool as shit. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's like what I would call like the typical car guy in a lot of ways. Like, he knows his shit. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a damn about social media, but he knows it kind of comes along with the process.
Yep.
So it's like whatever you do, he's like, all right, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. And he shoots it to you
So,
straight too. You know, he'll
yep,
tell you like he's told
yep,
me plenty of times. He's like, "Nah, man, stop doing that stupid shit and just do this." I'm like, "Okay, cool, thank you." You know, so nah,
exactly.
amazing guy, and a hell of a
Yeah.
driver. Like,
Oh, fuck
oh my
yeah.
god, yeah, absolutely.
The
So
way
yeah,
he swings that satellite is just amazing to me. It's a boat.
yep,
It's like being in Jenny the boat. It's like being
yep,
with Brandon.
yeah,
It
yeah.
feels like the same thing.
That thing's cool too. I'm glad you bought him
Oh,
that. That's
it's
a cool ass car.
I
That's so
love
good.
Brandon's another one of my people. Like I will go track him down for. I'm a hugger, so like I hug everybody when I see them, and I warn everybody that I'm a hugger because once I figure out you're not a hugger, like I try to respect it, but it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
but Brandon's always one like I'm just like there he is, give him a hug, check in with him, and he's always doing something.
yeah.
And what he did with the boat is just it's so crazy to me because it really takes somebody with an imagination, but such a good understanding of how mechanics and bodywork work.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to make any of that work the way that he did if he didn't understand how to put it all together.
Sure. Yeah,
Even
I
if he
agree.
didn't get it right, like maybe right off the break, he still made it happen. And it's just so crazy to me.
I agree. 100%.
Luis is on here. He said, Alan always with the good alignments, 100% recommend.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Luis is another one where people sleep on him because they don't know he exists. And you talk about a driver that'll figure shit out really fucking quick. He
I
is
tell
one.
you,
I've been in the passenger seat.
his BMW, right? The white one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm glad he shouted out for the alignment thing. I do a ton of drift alignment. So I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but I do a ton. But he's awesome because he actually listened to what and a lot of drivers don't because they're like, oh, whatever,
I
you
agreed.
work
I've
here, you
seen
know what I
it.
mean? He listened to what I asked him to change on his car for like
Hmm.
suspension wise stuff and things. And like I gave him I have a recipe for like E36, E46s that works really good. I gave him a spicy setup and he killed it. Like I'm so happy
He
to see him
he
get out
owns
there. He's
it.
good.
He owns it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I mean is there are some guys, and I think that's why I like the grassroots, because there are some guys that will always be grassroots because that's where they're going to live. That's where they're going
Yeah.
to stay. They're happy there. And there's nothing wrong with that. But those are the people I like to showcase a little bit more because there's those really excellent drivers out there. And because we're in a space that in so many ways, like it wouldn't matter if it ever went away, right? Like the
Right.
world would not die because it went away. But it's just so cool that there are so many people that they're just so good at it. He's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been in the passenger seat. I've shot him from the ground. I've had, drone footage of him. I've cameraed the cars. I've cameraed the other car driving with him. Like you can just tell that he is just comfortable behind the
Yep.
wheel of that car. But it's
Yep.
because he's got it dialed in for himself.
Yep. I
And I
agree.
think that's the hard part with drifting a lot of times is getting the car dialed in for how you drive or learning the car that you're choosing to drive.
Yeah, I'm so glad you touched that because that's how I set all my stuff up. And my crew chief, who's this year, again, I'm making all types of public announcements. That's public. Yeah. Anyhow, my crew chief, just it's coming out soon, but publicly, my little brother Devin is taking over as my crew chief for the whole program for
Okay.
my myself, and I won't drop all the stuff that's happening, but we have something
Okay.
else going on. So
Okay.
he's got a big role this year, and Devin, he'll tell you, he's like, I can't drive my brother's car. Like, yeah, I'm a big dude and stuff, but like, I'm 6'2", 6'2" and a half, whatever. I put my seat
Yeah.
on the ground all the way
Okay.
back, very
Sure.
James Dean style setup, and
No, I got you.
yeah, and people hate it. It's like, I can't, man. Let me go drive your car, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, if you can drive it, have fun, and
You can see.
ain't happening. No, it ain't happening.
Well,
So
that's like when I ride with Brian Brewington, with the way the Mustang is set up, the seats are so low. A lot of times, like when I'm in the passenger seat, like I can just be kind of like right here, but I kind of have to do this because I'm so short by comparison to where the dashboard is. If I were
yeah,
here, you're just seeing dashboard and like a little bit of the windshield. I gotta go up higher.
yeah, yeah.
And
Don't worry.
I
Same thing in my
complained
car.
I complained to who was it? Kobe, Callaway Visuals, one of the
Yeah,
drone
yeah,
guys. I complained about the fact that like I almost need a booster seat for my feet because some of the wheel wells are so far, I can't lock in to hold myself in place unless I can get in like at the cage or like there's a good like foot tuck like right where the cage sits to get my foot in because
yeah.
I have to be able to plant myself so that I can get the footage in whatever direction that I need to go. And he
Yeah.
goes, I've never had that problem. I said, how tall are you? I have short people problems, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
am vertically challenged at 5'6". You're like 6'2". Leave me alone.
Yeah, he's pretty much the same height as me. So yeah, nah, he's
He
up there.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's up there. He's a cool guy too.
Uh,
Shout out to him. He's awesome.
he's one of my favorite people. I got to hang out with him and his girlfriend Sarah 2 weekends ago. We went
Hell
to
yeah.
dinner and went to karaoke because I get to meet so many people, but I don't really get to spend time with them like outside the track. And sometimes the track time isn't time. Like you
Right.
don't really get to have a conversation. You get to have some conversations when there's a break or, lunch or whatever it is, or like when the day's starting. But I always joke, Kobe's like, I call him Mr. Hit It and Quit It Media because he goes in, you see him at the beginning of the day, but he does not say goodbye. You're like,
True.
wait, won't
Yeah.
Kobe leave?
Yeah.
Like you're looking for
Yeah.
him because you go to say goodbye to like your people when you leave, and like I'm the last person there most of the time.
Hell yeah.
It's just
I didn't
like,
even know he was
could
showing up. He came to
oh
Pantera
yeah,
for the October event. Like Hannah knew.
yep,
And again, I don't run any of the media stuff, so that's all
sure,
there. And I see a guy pull up on track, and I was like, you ain't drifting that thing. He's like, no, I'm Callaway Visuals. I was like, oh shit, like get up on the track, man. And shout out to him. He put the footage out there from Pantera with the drone footage. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking tons of likes and shares, and like his talent is
yeah.
amazing. So yeah, he's a good
Him,
one.
him, Mike Pilkerton, and Sam. Send it, Sam. They're
Yeah,
like, well, and there's one that I don't know that I like his work. The MoFly guy. His work is just, it's just super clean.
yeah,
And but I find the difference in how each of them shoot is interesting because Kobe likes to stay up kind of high and back for like multiple reasons. One of those is he doesn't want to annihilate a drone because they're expensive, especially when you build them yourself.
Sure.
And then Mike, man, Mike and Sam will get down behind a freaking tire and just run with the car. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to be that cool. Like, I just
Hell
like,
yeah.
I want to do drone shit. How do I do drone shit?
That's right. Do you know Max Dorsey? You ever heard of him?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not getting a visual.
So all hmm, the RTR footage that was shot at the Drift Mansion place, that was
Okay.
Max.
Okay.
A lot of RTR stuff is Max, and then T Pain, like their whole setup.
Okay.
That's Drone Guy. Max, shout out to Max. If Max ever watches this, man, I love you. That's my mom's like favorite person on the planet. He is OG AMA media, and Max was
Okay.
our drone guy in like 2020, 2021, and Max is just top. There's so many more people. Eric is another one, but like Eric and Max both,
Yeah.
they like came out, and that's why I said like we were so. That's why I asked you media question before. It's like I'm so fortunate that I get to go to events and I don't have to like look for media. And it sounds very first worldish. So like I don't want to sound like arrogant or anything, but like I get to bring some of like the coolest people that have
Yeah.
shot some crazy stuff. My buddy Scott, he was at FD for a while, so like these
Mhm.
guys I get to go with and go hang out with events and stuff. And they're like, "Hey, you driving
Yeah.
today?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "We're gonna get you shots." I'm like, "Yes, this is great." So I get to look good. So,
Right.
Hannah too. Like Hannah, I'll confidently say that if Hannah truly wanted to, I could see Hannah being sponsored by somebody like a Sony or Canon or something like that. She is,
Mhm.
and again, it's my sister, so like I'm gonna root for her always. But talent
Sure.
level wise, like there's very few people that I've seen that have started where she started from and quickly got into like this side of media and
Yeah.
just kill it. You know what I mean? And then she also does weddings and all this other stuff, and like it's shit I can't figure out. I just press a button and I'm like, okay, that works out. It's cool.
I
So
I turn weddings are the thing that I turn down the most. And
really, it's
they
interesting.
they're the thing that people ask me for the most, that and family photos.
Yeah,
And I am not built for them, and I own the fact that I am not built for them. I will edit a wedding. I'll edit a wedding all day long, but I do not want to go shoot one. It,
yeah,
it I find those types of events exhausting, and not even from a photography perspective, but from a people perspective.
right.
And I'm not built for it. And I'm not going to put you through that. And I'm not going to put me through that.
I respect it.
I
I
know
respect it.
I know it's great money and everybody talks about the money, and I'm like, maybe I'm just not enough money motivated. I don't know what it is. I just
Yeah,
can't do it. Like, it's
it
just
seems
not the place for me.
It seems like a lot of. I know she does a lot, and like she is. I mean, the girl works like 50 jobs. I swear to God, she's always doing something. But like, like, and I will say it. And I hate. I don't want to take away from anybody else that shoots media. So I hope nobody takes this the wrong way. But and again, this is my sister, so I'm gonna put her up there. Like I honestly think on the East Coast wise, she is one of the best photographers out there, and like that has been from Summit people saying this to we went to E Town. We travel all up the East Coast. And so my schedule is actually coming out soon. Like we're going
Okay.
Florida to New York. You know what I mean? New York, there's an event up there. We're going to a Florida event. So like we've been all over. And I got to say, like, when we were talking about you coming to do AMA media stuff, I was saying, hey, reach out to Hannah. Like, I think when you see her and like, get to see her side of stuff and you guys, shoot media and stuff, like you'll find out like you guys are very up there. And shout out to her for being that person. So I've put her through some shit. And I'm like, hey, like, can you edit all my drift videos like and photos in like 24 hours so I can make cool posts and shit? And she's like, oh my god, sure. So I give you all a
Oh,
lot of
I've
credit.
been there.
Yeah,
That was like, it was one of the things that I learned very early, and the thing that solidified it for me was Final Bout. When you're
hell yeah,
at the larger events, and it's interesting because Final Bout is different than Grid Life being a large event, right?
hmm,
So Grid Life, I have to wait till, say, um, what's till Monday or Sunday night to post. but you don't post while you're at grid life because the internet connection is so horrible because you have so many people in one spot. Nobody's able to check their phone. Nobody's able to check their social media. So if you're posting while you're there, it doesn't matter. But with Summit Point, even though they have a large crowd, it's not the same as grid life. So I stayed up till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning after the comp. And I think I put like 8 reels together. Like I took all the footage and it was just team-based footage.
Oh, shit.
And I woke up in the morning. I'd had everything already scheduled to post and I was like, "Oh my God, all of this looks like shit." Because I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning and I was so mad at myself. Like it to me, it was all awful. And I felt like it was the poorest quality I'd ever done. And it's some of my best visual interaction on social media.
Oh yeah.
And so, but I posted it just like in scheduled segments throughout the day to see what did the best. The morning posts were the ones that did the best because everybody was getting up the next day for the next day of stuff and
Yep.
they were checking their phones in the morning when they woke up.
Yep.
And those are the things that I think take time to learn
Yeah.
is are y- are you shooting for social media? Are you shooting for yourself? Are you shooting for a team? Are you shooting for media? What is it you're shooting for so that you then know what to do with the information? Because if I had put it out 2 days later, it still might have done okay, but I don't think it would have done as well.
Right. Understanding
And
the algorithm's important there. Understanding
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But grid life, if I had waited 2 days, would have been fine because then everybody would have seen it. And it was interesting just to kind of see the difference in the dynamic of how the event runs as to what that then creates as you go on to like the next thing. I do want to get to the comments real quick on Instagram because we missed a couple.
Sure.
And Samantha Crawford said, I just came to say AMA all the way, and Hannah is amazing 100%.
Yeah. Thank you. Hell yeah. Hell
Let's
yeah. I
see.
appreciate that.
Travis said, Travis, did you mean Home Depot or did you actually mean Ho Depot? I can't.
Whoa. Whoa, brother. Whoa, brother.
he
Yeah.
said he said Backy's behind a Ho Depot is crazy work.
Hey man, I was a lot younger back then, man. Whatever happened happened. That's crazy.
Uh,
Holy shit.
Cody is they were talking about the safety and the cages and who had cages. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I don't know if I understand that one. Booster wanted to know if you guys are coming to Capital this season. You missed them at Capital, what, beginning of January? End of December. That
And
was when I met you. It was
yeah,
December.
December. December. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was December.
I think I'm gonna come out. Hannah's still finalizing my schedule between Hannah and I go over a lot of my stuff with my girl Cheyenne and stuff, and like she's got her son and I got my daughter and stuff, so we got the kids and stuff, so we try to plan around like a lot of stuff that we got to do and things. So we're still finalizing the schedule, but I plan to be at Capitol at least one event. There's a comp event that I learned about that they're gonna do.
Okay.
Um,
I'll
you
be
know,
curious to see how that goes.
yeah, I ain't
'Cause
gonna,
that
yeah,
I hate the comp events with a passion. They are my least favorite thing. Now, as I say that, I understand why they are necessary. I understand why they happen. And I
yeah,
think because it's not like Formula Drift. Like I did go to Formula Drift when I was down in Orlando, and that's definitely a lot of fun to watch in person, hands
sure,
down. And
yep,
I did grab some video from that as a spectator because I didn't know it was actually happening while I was down there until I got down there. And so it wasn't something to where I could try to apply for media. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, do I really want to even try? Because some of the bigger events you actually have to either be a media outlet, which technically I could be considered depending on who's looking, or you have to be working for a media, or you have to be working for a driver to be able to have the access.
yep,
So I
yep,
just didn't even bother. And comps seem to change because sometimes you don't get enough people for the comp. everybody, there's no rule book for comps, so the comps are different like everywhere I've been. Like there's some consistency but not really, and then who's judging, and then are they doing the one more times, and I'm like, they're so exhausting from a media
Yeah.
perspective because you're doing, yeah, okay, we're doing the next one, okay, we're doing the next one, okay, we're
Yep.
doing the next one. I'm just like, final bout would probably be the only one that I would intentionally go back to, because final bout was just so much fun, partially because they had such a huge spectator draw
Yeah.
that you got the spectator vibe, along with the fact that you had teams that were actually put together teams. Like
Yep.
that was a lot of fun to watch because shit happened. You know,
Yep.
somebody ran into somebody, somebody ran off the road. Like it was kind of cool. I know we're not supposed to be okay with that, and I know we don't want that to happen, but
That happens. Yeah.
it's still kind of entertaining sometimes because you go, oh, like everybody like does the thing because they hurt for the person, and the
Yep.
person's fine because they have a caged car. It's
Yep.
fine. Everybody lived, everybody survived, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And that's why the cars are set up the way they're set up, is so that you survive the ups, you know?
100%.
Um, but yeah, most of the comps that I have been to, I have just found really, really exhausting, and they're just
There. So
meh.
let's touch on that really quick. So
Okay.
I never really explained a lot of like how the AMA format is, and it's funny that we were talking about
Okay.
comps because that's what we got known for, weirdly enough. So
Mhm.
like we were all fun days and stuff like that, but we would host a mini comp at the end of
Okay.
the day, right? And that mini comp blew up to a different degree. We had Kenda that sponsored us at one point. We had Link that sponsored us. I mean, I was giving away 1,000, 1,500 bucks for the first place, and they trickled down. So like a driver would come out, drive all day, have a good time,
Mhm.
and then they compete in this mini comp. And there was so much footage. There's so many drone videos. Colby Gates, I don't know if you know him.
I do know him.
Colby is a
He's a
competitor.
damn good fucking driver, man.
Absolutely.
Damn
So,
fucking good
and
driver.
I'll never take anything away from Colby, but Colby really shined at AMA, and Colby was one of the most successful AMA comp drivers that ever did it. And Harley, I love Harley too. Harley also was an
I like
AMA comp
Harley.
driver. So like you see some of these guys like Colby and Harley and like Sergey, he competed there. Sean Murphy, shout out to Sean, I love him
I
too.
know
He
Sean.
compe- he competed there. So it's like,
Well,
these
I
are
say I know Sean. I don't know Sean personally, like I know Colby, but I know
yeah,
who Sean is. I know who
yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he's my Jay-Z 350Z twin. That's my guy. So but like
Gotcha.
a lot of these
I like his
people,
car color.
it's sick. It's really cool. A lot of these people like came from not like came from they came from other drift events and things like that. But when they came to AMA, they were like, "What the hell's going on? Like we're having a fun day, and then like you're gonna do a competition." I'm like, "Yeah, we just want to throw down a top 16, have a good time." And it was a weird concept at first, and it just caught, and we've done that ever since. And I think that helped a lot of people break out of being your normal every day, just show up to a drift event, have fun with people, throw some stuff, and then go home. There was guys that uniquely, and I'm very proud to say this, there's guys that were very grassroots that ended up competing against FD drivers at AMA.
Right.
You got
Well,
guys,
that was the draw with final bout was day
yeah,
2. Day 2, you didn't have to have a cage, and you got to drive with everybody that was in the
exactly,
comp the day before. Yeah.
yeah. Simba's dope. Simba's dope, and I'm going to touch on that
I
here
like
in a second
Simba.
too.
I
We
like
got
Simba.
some stuff there, but yeah. So like Arietta, like Carlos and Gorka and all those guys. Carlos is an FD. That's my guy. He was competing with guys that just in grassroots cars, and he had a blast. Alex Leclerc
Yeah.
competed there at AMA. He had a blast. Nate Chen competed at AMA, and I think Nate competed every one of them except for Dominion. I think is the only one he really missed. Not by his own admission. He just had some other stuff happening.
Yeah, yeah.
David, we talked about earlier. David won his
Mhm.
FD license multiple times. He competed there too, and it was so much fun because like you don't know who you're going against,
Yeah.
and you can be lined up against a guy with 200 horsepower, E36, or you can be lined up against a guy with 1,000 horsepower FD car. And the
Yeah.
equalizer for our mini comps was that we were very technical with our layouts and stuff, so it didn't really make much of a difference if you start walking away from people. And what it did, proudly for me to say, like very openly, it allowed a lot of driver development to grow. And whether or not those people stuck with doing comps or not made no difference, but
Right.
they were a lot more confident leaving out of there. So I'll leave it at that. So I think you would enjoy an AMA event because it's what you like from final bout comps, but it's
Okay.
also what you like from normal drift event. So when I say like we did things differently, in a sense, like the vibes were always different than other things, and that's because of
Mm,
my mentorship from Yoshi and Brian, all these other really great people that I've got a chance to work with, and know. It made it a little different, So, and then the final
yeah.
thing, final belt. One of those other public non-announcements is that we should be there with
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna say the AMA Motorsports Drift Team is back for 2026,
Okay. I
and
like it.
yeah, we're gonna announce who very soon. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be fun. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I know Simba. Simba's awesome. I've already talked to Simba and stuff about what I have going on this year, and then
Yeah.
Simba's the homie, and he's part of Team Brown and some other, which is a primarily black drift group in America, and shout out to them
Okay.
too. There's a lot of stuff. I'll go into that and maybe another podcast and stuff. But like, that's a really good group of people. And yeah, so I told Simba that we're going to be out there, so we're going to come out and support him
Okay.
too. So we should be a final bout this year. So
Yeah. So Final Bout was interesting because Final Bout wasn't on my radar last year until right before the event happened. Because that's one of the drawbacks sometimes with Summit Point is if it's not Summit Point sanctioned, it doesn't necessarily come from Summit Point. So unless you come across it on Motorsports Reg or something hits your feed, you don't necessarily know something's happening.
sure,
And Ryan, as we talked about earlier, Ryan Downey, he was working the event from the Drift Nirvana side, and that was kind of a last minute thing. And usually Ryan's like, "Hey, you want to go?" I'm like, "All right, I'm down." I was like, "I don't have media for it. I applied for it, but I found out later I always sit through the driver meeting no matter what because I want to hear what's said to the drivers because it helps me when I'm in the infield as well too. It also helps me to know what they're supposed to do. I actually had that work in my favor as a passenger because we had a driver who didn't make the driver meeting like he normally does because he had an issue with the car. So he's working on the car, got the car checked but missed the meeting. Well, I was like, we went and did something. I'm like, I don't think we were supposed to do it that way. And sure enough, as soon as we came back around, the track worker was like, "So hey, bud, we're not doing it that way today."
don't
And he
do
goes,
that, right? Yeah.
"Oh, my bad."
Oh
But
shit.
I just got lucky enough that a couple of people hadn't shown up. I happened to be in the driver meeting, and of course, Ryan. He's like, "So hey, Dantas Media, can we get her one of those?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I'm over here like, look, because what is his name? His name's Max, right? I think his name is
Dorsey?
Max.
Yeah, that does. He
Did
did final belt drone stuff too.
Okay, so is that the Max that you were talking about then?
Has the Subaru
Okay.
WRX and everything. I'm almost
No, no,
sure he was
no.
there.
So I'm talking about the media guy. So there was the media guy that was
Oh,
handling Final Bout. I feel like
yeah,
his
no,
name was Max as well.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know the name. But if I
I
saw
can't
his
think of
face,
his last
yeah,
name. Yeah, yeah.
yep,
But so I just got lucky that I got to do media from the infield at that event. I originally, when I went, I was just like, cool, I'll hang out with my drift friends for the day. I don't have to shoot. And then I went,
hell yeah.
oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Never mind. Get the camera. Get the
Ryan
camera.
had
Yeah,
different plans. Okay.
I respect that.
um,
Yeah,
but I'm really glad that I got to have that opportunity because I want to reapply. What ended up happening was when I had applied, I was so late in the game to apply. They had already hit their max for the amount of media that was allowed for the event.
sure.
Because some events will keep you to like 10 to 20. Some might be 50 to 100 because it depends on how big it is and how much they want to cover. How many drivers do they have that have a media person coming with them?
Yeah,
So all of that stuff factors in to how much they're willing to accept in, how
yeah.
much they can anyway. And so that was why I got to experience that. So I did get to meet Simba, which like totally chill guy. Like he's just
Awesome dude.
like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah, super
I'm like,
cool
I'm
guy.
here for it.
Him, Hurt, all those guys. They're so cool. Like so cool. It's
Yeah.
such a good group. Really is. I'm
All
excited
right,
to
let
see
me
him
go.
this year. So
All right, we're gonna come back to that because I think I'm gonna apply for the media this year, like ahead of schedule.
there you
I'm
go.
trying to keep track of everything because I didn't apply for Hyperfest last year either. I went in spectator, but I went with a driver, so I was still there doing media, but I wasn't doing it like from an infield anywhere. And I think I'd like to check out the infield this year, so fingers crossed for that.
There you go.
Um, but we've missed a couple of things in the comments. I'm so sorry, guys,
Uh,
because we're chatty. Let's see. Booster wants to know, Alan, what you get into any other racing, like off-road racing, like Baja 1000 for the mid 400 or King of the Hammers?
yes, yes.
Okay,
I'm actually best friends with AK Whitley. Shout out to AK from Chaos.
I know him
And
too.
yeah, we were supposed to go with him to King of the Hammers, but I couldn't get out of work. So
Mm.
I will be getting involved with some of that here soon. And some dirt racing too. So I not me, but I'm building a
So
dirt car. So
I want in on dirt racing. That is my goal for this year. I want at least one event that involves dirt, and I want one that involves mud. One at
Hit up
least.
Hannah
Okay,
through
I'll message Hannah.
yeah, through AMA because we built a dirt car and we are now I'll make it public. We're sponsoring a dirt driver for this
Okay,
year. So
okay,
I'll leave it at that.
okay.
Who and all this other stuff will come later, but yes, yeah. So we'll be out
Hannah's
there.
about to become my unintentional bestie.
She's awesome. I'll tell you, she is awesome.
Yeah, that is my one thing for this year is I want to make sure I change it up a little bit. Like I don't just want to do drifting this year. I want to do a couple other things. But
Sure.
last year I wanted to do a dirt event and I never did a dirt event. And I'm like, I have to like hold myself to the fact that I'm doing one this year, damn it.
Hell yeah. There you go. I'm
Um,
looking forward to it. It should be interesting.
well, AK and Maria, I only ever see them at drifting events, and they were at Hyperfest, and I saw them for half a minute, and like that was the extent of it.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to any of the dirt events that they've gone to. I only get to hang out with them and see them when they're drifting.
Great people.
Let's
Absolutely
see.
great people.
Travis said, "The man, the myth, the legend, Luis."
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see who else we got. Travis said, "I meant Ho Depot." I said what I said.
Hey man, nope. No. No, no. No, no. No. No, no. Home Depot. Home Depot. Nah, ain't none of that shit over here. We're good.
Oh, I can't. All right, let me see. All right. Dirt track is slept on. Pop Pop's Garage, Andy Hamke. Um, yeah, I definitely, you know what it is I want from the dirt event, and I get to capture it occasionally when they're drifting, when they hit the edge, and then you get like all the dirt that like, I just want
Yeah.
that. I just
Yeah.
want it. I don't know why I want it, but I want it.
Hell yeah. I'm growing
And
as a
then,
crew chief, and because I fabricate, I built the whole front end of this car, and like I'm a fabricator and all that, and I
mhm.
just want to go to make sure all the tube work I just did doesn't get completely destroyed the first round, and then everything will be fine at that point. So he needs to keep it on the track, and then we'll have a good time. So
Booster said you got Hagerstown Speedway. I'll have to look into that.
yeah,
Because the other thing that I want to do, because what's not too far from me is Budds Creek, but I reached out to them about 2 years ago about media, and nobody got back to me. They had something on there that said reach out to so and so person, and nobody responded. Um, I want to get, I want like a motocross, like I want to get air, like I want to get like underneath while they're like going up in the air. Like I just think that that would be awesome.
that'd be sick.
And I really want to trek out like a rally cross.
That'd
Like
be
I
cool.
just like that would just between video and like panning photos for that, I'm just like just once, like just
Yeah,
once. And I know just
hell
once
yeah.
is going to turn into like an obsession, but
Yeah, you'll give up drifting and be like, no, I'm doing this shit now. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Have fun.
they're like,
Yeah.
I love you guys. I'll be back eventually.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few years. It's all good. No, it happens. That happens.
Cody said, I lived a quarter mile from Path Valley Speedway, never went to it. That's like me with Summer Duck. Summer Duck is literally like 25 minutes down the road from me, and I forget it's there. Unless somebody says something, I'm like, oh, you're going? I can go. It's right down the street. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's a interesting 8th Mile place, Summer Duck. That's you went out there a few times. Yeah,
It sounds like they're going to be expanding. I think we're going to get drifting there in some way, shape, or form.
really
I don't have details on it, but they've been doing a skid pad kind of situation to like test it out a little bit. Some kind
interesting.
fingers crossed we get a little
That'd
bit
be cool.
more.
That'd be cool.
Shoot, 25 minutes down the road, I ain't got to drive an hour, 4 hours, 11
Hell
hours.
yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
See, Andy said Hagerstown is fast. Potomac Raceway, which is Budds Creek, is a
Yeah.
lot smaller and you can get closer. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Budds Creek is the one that I think is the one I'm probably going to end up checking out.
Mhm.
Booster said, yeah, they're very hard to get a hold of, but there are some big monster truck events like the Buck Motorsport Park. Okay.
We're gonna focus on Path Valley. That's our goal. We're gonna enter. Yeah, it's up here near us here in Pennsylvania.
PA?
Yeah,
Okay.
near Marion and Newville and stuff like that. We're gonna focus primarily Path Valley for this season for this driver. We're gonna maybe go out to. I think Winchester has a place. Stephen City has a spot. We might go do that, and then also Linda's. So we're gonna do mainly Path Valley, and there's like 25 races, so it's gonna be a
Give me
lot. So,
information on the Winchester Stevens City one because I'm out that
yeah,
way from time to time and I got to drive past that for everything
yeah,
else that I do out that
we'll
way.
do. Yeah, we're putting his schedule together too, and it's gonna be a lot. I mean, between drifting and dirt stuff, and then we
Yeah.
do some. I set up cars for people for road race stuff and for drifting. So like, I'm always trying to help
Okay.
other drivers. And my daughter competition soccer, and then the
Uh
little
huh.
one, the young man in my life, he is playing flag football. So it's like we're all over the damn place. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We might get maybe one weekend off without doing stuff. We'll see.
Well, you know what I said when we were talking before we went live is these are the moments when you go, why do I hate myself? Why am I doing
Right.
this to myself?
Exactly. Yeah. I love it because like the kids are getting into stuff. Like he's into,
uh,
like I said, the flag football stuff and things, and then my daughter's into soccer. So like between those two, I'm just happy they want to go do cool things and stuff. And then they're
yeah.
they're into gaming, and now I got he's into golf with me now. I started taking up golf for some weird reason. So now me and him are doing golf stuff. So like we're busy people. We like to stay busy.
So Andy said Buds changed owners in 2025 as the new year for the new owners. That's interesting. So I think my experience was like, I feel like it was the year before last year. I think it was 2024. But I'm gonna check back into it again because it's not that far from me. That's another one where it's like an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah.
And then Andy wants to know what kind of dirt car are you sponsoring?
Um, basically built it, but yeah, we'll go with sponsor too. Yeah, it's a Thunder car, so he's in the Thunder car series. It's a 4-cylinder
Okay.
series, and then we are building. I don't know how much of his information I could put out there, but we are building another higher chassis for him to do a different series as well. That's getting a
Okay.
ton of fabrication work. Much bigger engine, and that's got to stay under wraps until I can go public. But yeah,
Sure. Sure.
so he's gonna get some seat time in the Thunder Car series, and then we're gonna see how it works out. I think ultimately, I know his goal is to get into sprint car stuff and do some
Okay.
other things. So who knows where we might be at? I don't know anymore. We're all over the damn place. But yeah, for right now,
Yeah,
it's
I get
Thunder
it.
Cars, and Thunder Cars primarily are at Linda's and like Path Valley. So that's where we're going to focus a lot of his time at. So
Okay.
yeah,
A-
yeah,
Andy said he sponsors two SCDRA cars.
those are sick. He wants to
I
sponsor a
have no
drift
clue
car. I
what that
got
is.
one for him. So yeah, hit my inbox, man. I'm actually doing my livery right now. Hit me up. Let's talk. Got to shoot my
Well,
shot somehow.
and Andy drifts as well too, but he doesn't drift with a cage because he says he likes to drift with the homies.
I'm
Although,
with
if
you.
I were Andy, aren't you changing that? I feel like I saw something where you were going to be putting a cage in something. I don't know if that's in the black car or not.
That's
Um,
Pop Pop's garage, right? That's that Andy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So like I swear I've talked to him before, like through Facebook and stuff, and like we all
probably.
have so many mutual friends, and I don't think I've ever met him unless we met at VMP a while ago. We may have met at like a VMP event for US Drift. If not, at one of these days we'll have to meet up because there's so many people like, oh, you should talk with him and get him, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I know of him, but yeah, just like everything else,
Yeah.
you know a million people, but you never get the chance to meet them. So
Yeah, Andy's another one of my favorite people because, he lets me hop in the passenger seat and just do ridiculous things. So
oh yeah,
when we were at DoryCon, like a lot of my footage was between him, Devin, and Cam, because we had a couple of Cams, if I remember correctly. And it's sometimes it's nice to know that you have drivers that you know you can safely hop in the car with, because I can't hop in the car with just anybody, because
Exactly.
not everybody is at a level that's safe for me to be in the passenger seat.
Exactly.
And that's not something I have to worry about when I'm in the car with Andy.
Hell yeah.
Andy said, "Yeah, I need to do a cage, but I love having a street car."
Respect. I
and,
respect him saying that. That's good. Hell yeah.
uh-huh. And he said, for sure. He says, he's like, I don't think we've met.
Good. We
Um,
need to. We need to change that. That'd be fun.
yeah.
Yep.
But it's definitely, I will say, like, from like my own personal experience, I think one of the things that really keeps me going and keeps me showing up is really the people.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those spaces where the majority of the people are really supportive,
Yes.
and it makes it a space that you don't hate being in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the drifters used to do drag, and they didn't like the culture, they didn't like the attitude, or how they were
Yep.
treated, how they were spoken to, and they left drag to do the drifting, because everybody can just kind of show up, and
Yeah.
nobody really cares as long as you're not doing dumb shit. And if you are doing dumb shit, listen, that's the reality of it.
I agree.
So, I know that I'm willing to try just about anything, and I think this year I've had a lot of people ask me why I don't drift, and I can't afford it. That's the reality of it, is I can't afford it. It's expensive if you
Yeah.
really want to get dialed in. You can do it cheap, and then those are all the people that you complain about. So I don't want to hear it. But
Yeah. Yeah. I had my time. Yeah. Yeah.
well, I think what I'm going to do this year is, I think my goal for this year, especially, and we're at the beginning of the year, so we can talk about goals. I think my goal for this year is, there are things that I want to try, kind of like talking to you, like, I want to try the rap. I want to try it at least once. Because I do the media stuff already, all I have to do is toss a video camera on, and we can talk about it. I can promote the other person. I can get the experience. I think I'm going to do the same thing with drifting. I've had a couple of people offer me a car to
Nice.
practice or learn in. Um, whether that's, HPDE, or like a 101, like drift learning, whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? It's interesting, because it's one of those things where maybe I'm lacking. So my car background is just illegal street racing when I was younger. So I drive fairly well. I won't say I'm the best driver out there, but I drive fairly well. And I think I could pick it up. I don't know how long it would take me, but I think I could pick it up. And I'm like, there's no harm in, like, paying to go to one learning event, videoing it, and if I never do it again, that's fine. At least I had the
Yeah.
experience, and at least I can talk about it.
I agree.
Um, you know what I mean? And like, there's a lot of things that I could do that. Like, I could do that with road racing as well. I remember another thing I went to Ryan with, it was, he did one of those, what are they called? The enduro road racing kind of things at Dominion. So there was just
Yep.
like a team of 5 of them, and they just swapped out between 2 cars, and they kept running. And do you know how hard it is to make road racing look sexy? Like, it is not easy. It's
I
just
believe
not
it.
easy.
I believe it. Yeah, Ryan's dad's been. I think it's his dad that's been doing that shit for years. Like Ryan's dad's
Well,
like,
so
yeah,
they both have done so many different, like, types of racing, and
yeah,
types of mechanic work, and building and fabricating. Like, I want to do a documentary on both of them, because the
yeah,
amount of stuff that they have done that nobody knows that they have done is crazy to me. It's
yeah.
just
It's
crazy to
wild.
me. Let's see. Andy said drifting is expensive as fuck. He says, I'm going to chill a little bit this year and focus on my drag car. That's just as expensive,
I
sir.
was gonna say not much cheaper, but yeah, that's cool. Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say real quick before you go further. Like, luckily for you, there's so many like ways for you to learn if you want to get into drifting. I know we touched on it a little bit, but I have my own thing. I'm starting this year for. I hate saying the word like instructing because like putting a word like
It's
instructor
fair.
behind, it
Yeah,
gives you a level of responsibility that you have to own up to. But
sure.
like I'm gonna have private like school day of like 10 drivers and 10 people that want
Okay.
to learn. So that's coming. And then I know Chris DeBoard, who you're going to have on soon. I know he's got his
I
own
love
track
him.
now. He's awesome, right? And I know he's going to do his own
He
thing. So
he's one of those guys, like, his personality just makes my heart happy.
yeah, he's amazing.
'Cause
I love Chris.
he's such a vibe as a human.
He
He's
is.
such a vibe, and he had stuff happen that he very much handled with grace, which was really impressive to me.
Yeah,
And not everybody would have handled what he went through the way he handled it. From what I can tell, and I don't know all details, but from what I can tell,
yeah.
he handled it very well.
Super professional. Yeah, that guy's awesome. So I mean,
Yeah,
you got between him or myself, and then also Drifter Vana, they do a 101 school day that's
they
amazing
do.
too. So
Yep.
you got three solid options that
Yeah.
hit us up. Come out and learn, and it'd be a good time. Drifting's fun. It's you being around it forever. It's just, it's nothing
Yeah.
else like So I think you should definitely do it. That'd be a good time.
Cody said Lemons. I didn't get to go to Lemons because it was happening at the same time as, what was it, Feiner Fright? And I'm kind of bummed about it because they don't do a media pass for Lemons. And I was
Interesting.
really sad about that because I was like, how do I get in for media? And it doesn't, that basically they don't really do media like a lot of the other events do. And actually I think that's starting to become a little bit more common, which is sad. I reached out, was it the SCCA? I think is doing is it a rally cross? I think it's a rally cross. I think they're using Shenandoah for it. But I reached out and I said, hey, I don't see that you guys have a media option. How do you handle that? And he said, we had things happen and we don't do that anymore. And I'm like, that is so sad, but thank you for following up. Like, I
Yeah,
just, it's like it only takes one person to ruin shit. And I hate that. I hate it.
I agree.
And for anybody who doesn't know what Lemons is, it's supposed to be like Le Mans, but the parody version of it, like your car is supposed to be ridiculous. It's still supposed to be safe, but it's supposed to be ridiculous. Oh, we have Kevin Stewart with us. School days were fun at MIR. He says, I can't teach, but plenty of drifters love coaching and giving pointers. At least you own it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. I remember I was out at MR with Kevin. I don't think it was like a school day. I think it was just an event that he had and stuff. And
Yeah.
I remember helping out with some drivers and stuff like that. And I think I love that. That's definitely my thing for sure. I think that's great. So, hi Kevin. Shout out to you, buddy. I miss you. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, Kevin gets stuck with me from time to time. We always manage to be in the same place at the same time.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to get him to do ridiculous media with me. I had an idea that I sent him at like 2:00 this morning because
Shit.
I don't sleep, and that's how my brain works.
Hell yeah. I'm sure he enjoyed that. Yeah.
And I'm like, "Are you in?" And he's only loved it so far, so I don't know if he's in.
Probably half awake, still trying to remember what the hell you said at that point. That's it. Oh my goodness. Hell yeah.
Well, the media stuff is one of those things where sometimes you shoot because you're going to be sending it to somebody and all they want is they just want the final outcome. They don't need you to put like a social media anything together. And then sometimes like when you do the creative thing, like you kind of just want to do the creative thing. And sometimes you want to do the funny creative thing or the cinematic creative thing. And I suck at the cinematography stuff. I'm not good at it. I own it. Now, could I get better at it? Maybe. Do I want to? Everybody else does it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
sometimes it's just like you don't want to do the thing that everybody does. Like you want to do something that looks different.
Sure.
And sometimes that's hard. Like even with the drifting, like there's only so many places you can put a camera and hope the camera makes it back. Like it's just
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah,
because sometimes the camera doesn't make it back.
I see people trust some really expensive equipment on cars. I'm like, good luck with that shit. I wouldn't be doing that if that was me.
Well,
So,
it's funny. Like I don't trust suction cups. And I know there are some that are very well built and very well made, but I don't trust them. And when Paul and I were talking, we kind of talked about it because he'll use a suction cup on the inside. He's terrified to use one on the outside. But what a lot of people will do with the suction cups is they tether. So they'll attach the cameras somewhere else on the car with a cable. so that if it makes a break for it, they don't necessarily lose it to the ground. It still might get damaged by hitting the car in some way, shape, or form, but they're less likely to like lose the whole camera.
That's
Uh,
smart.
I like magnets. Magnets and clamps, like you can like really lock them down, and it's like it's really those are the things that I've trusted the most, that or holding it. I would much rather would much and like Summit Point hates it. Like they don't want you to have anything like on a selfie stick. But how I handle some of like the really fun footage that I have, I can get at the smaller tracks. At some point in time, like I almost want to put a waiver together to be like, look, I want to do the thing. I know the risk. Can we sign this?
Right, right,
But
yeah,
so what I do is I actually put a clamp on the base of the selfie stick so I can hold the base of it with this hand, and then I can hold the selfie stick here. With the 360 camera, I can get all the way out in front of the other car if we're doing a tandem, where I can pull it in so that I can have it like on the driver and still have whatever's happening at the window without having it out the window.
that's
You
crazy.
know, so like there's a lot of things that can be done, and most of my best work is actually from the passenger seat. And that's the thing I like doing the most, but I can't do everything at every track. And depending on the event, depends on if I can get tandems, because there's literally no point in me passengering if there's no tandem happening, because social media doesn't care. They only want to see the action.
Yeah,
Um, you know, so it's like that's where that balance comes in, because it's like, sure, I can hop in, but what am I doing with the footage if somebody's not paying me to hop in the passenger seat if it's just a single car?
right.
Like Andy just commented, I'll get to that in a second, but with I hopped in with Andy while we were at Dominion for the one drift event that I made it to for Dominion this year. And like I had the 360 cameras, so like I could do kind of fun things with it, but it was just him and me in the car. Now he liked it because he could see all his hand movement from one of the ones that I did, because I could do the whole like wide view. But I
Yeah,
mean, outside of that, like nobody really cared that I put it together. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
wasn't the slow drift tire and smoke all close up. And I'm just like,
yep.
but guys, we keep doing that. I
Yeah.
know 2,000 people like it, but I'm so tired of looking at it.
It's fun though.
So
You
tired
know,
of
that's
looking at it.
tandems definitely a party. That's for sure.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
tandems. Andy said, "Are the AMA Panthera events going to have media passes? I've never been." Well, sir, we talked about that at the beginning of this segment, and you missed it because you were late to the party.
Yeah. We can readdress it. At the moment,
Okay.
things are applications for media and stuff is on a pause at the moment for some information. We got to figure some stuff out just to cover it super fast. And we'll address that on the AMA Facebook page and stuff on what could be occurring and stuff. So I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but I will say, regardless of anything, yeah, there should be media if everything works out the way it needs to work out. I can't tell you how much or anything. That's not my decision. That's a decision that solely relies on Hannah and insurances. And again, the problem with a facility like this is that it's not spectator friendly and it's not people friendly. There will never
Yeah.
be spectators at that event series ever. It can't happen. We won't have it happen. So it's very driver only. And there won't be a million people for media. So it's going to be very selective of who gets chosen, not because we want to do it that way, because we have to do it that way to keep everybody
Yeah.
safe. If somebody goes off and there's nowhere to protect people, so we have to build
Yeah.
our own protection there. So but again, there's so much else going on right now that just hit us in the last 48 hours that we got to figure some things out before we go any farther, but we'll get to
Yeah.
that at some point. So
And he said I missed all the good stuff. I had shit to do.
it happens. That happens.
Andy, Andy, the live actually goes as a video on YouTube when I end it. So it'll be a whole video to look at. And then I do a trimmed down version. I trim the front and the back half of it for the podcast version. So you can go back and get all the juicy gossip details.
There you go, buddy.
Um, And he said, for sure, I get that. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
kind of like we mentioned before, because somebody was asking, is it has to have that exclusivity, because we've talked about Drift Appalachia on here before with, like
yeah,
other people, media and drivers, and I have a hard time sometimes when things are exclusive and not inclusive, but there are things that have to be exclusive from a skill set level and a safety level. If you don't have the skill set because the safety isn't inclusive to everyone, you have to be exclusive. There's no way around it.
yeah, yeah. It's I don't want anybody hurt. We've
Yeah.
never been like that. Even to our Shenandoah days, safety,
Yeah.
EMS, all that stuff is priority one for us. I don't. Again,
Sure.
I'm not a host that gives a shit about money. I don't. I lost. I'll be transparent with everybody here, including yourself. I've never made money from a drift event. Period.
I believe that, actually. I believe that
Yeah,
a lot of the people that I have talked to that have hosted stopped hosting because
yeah.
they were losing money. Not
I
because
lost
they were
tons.
breaking even, but because they were losing money.
Yeah, I'll be transparent. The last one we just did, even there, I lost a couple $1,000. I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it
Well,
is.
yeah, because what most people don't realize is that to host the event, you already know how much you have to pay the track. That's not any other expenses included. Like if you have a staff and whatever you have to set up and pay for.
Exactly.
And if is the track covering your EMS, or do you have to cover your EMS?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you've paid for it before anybody decided whether they were showing up or not. So yeah, I
Exactly.
understand completely. And actually that's what Kevin just said. He said it's a struggle.
Absolutely. And Kevin knows firsthand. Again, he's
Mhm.
OG AMA as well, and he knows that even we can go back to the Shenandoah days where we had I think a total of 250 people there for spectating and 50 drivers, and all the money made after staff got taken care of and stuff went back to drivers. Like we were just talking about,
Yeah,
beginning of this. If you came out and spent $100 to drive AMA that day, you got entered in the comp for free, didn't have to pay anything extra,
yeah,
and won $1,500. It didn't come from Shenandoah. It
yeah,
came from us. It came out of my pocket.
yeah.
And same thing with Dominion and stuff. So, but I don't do it to try to make a profit, to try to quit my day job and any of that stuff. I do it strictly because I want the community to grow. And why not? There's so many other, I don't want to say everybody's not doing it. There's a lot of hosts I know that do make really good money from doing stuff like that.
Sure.
And they're not putting it back into the program or into their drivers. I can't stand behind that. I care about my drivers more
Yeah.
than I care about myself. So that's a flaw I have, but I love it. So it's just one of them
I
things.
get that. I get that. I was talking to a gentleman and his name escapes me at the moment, but I checked out one different event at Shenandoah. I think it was the year before last, where it was like the legends and like the little cars, and it just like a NASCAR style oval situation, and they're
Yeah.
just going around and around in a circle. I probably won't ever do that again, just so we're all clear. Unless they're just like really cool cars that I want to take photos of. Like it's kind of like what some of the comps have been for me. It's just boring just
Yeah.
to like be standing there going around and around in the circle, which I think is why drifting has always been so appealing, is there's something actionable visually to look
Yeah.
at. And you know what especially if you've been in the passenger seat, you know what the skill set looks like too.
Yeah.
Um, but that one was a little tougher for me. I did it. I edited photos after. I had video, but again, it's hard to make it look sexy. And that's what social media wants. They want the cool thing that happened. They want something that like makes them want to drool over it, whatever.
Yeah.
But the gentleman who was hosting it, and God, for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but he's in California. He's based in California. I think he does like real estate or something. And this is like one of the things that he does, to offset expenses. And that was kind of the gist of the conversation, was anything with motorsports is about advertising.
Yep.
You're spending the money there to advertise so that you can potentially make that money in sales somewhere else. It's not the event that's making you the money. It's the fact that you're putting yourself in front of people to hopefully get them to the product that you sell, so that that's the thing that you're selling. And from a business perspective, you can expense all of it so that you got less income for the year so the IRS doesn't come for whatever you profited. And it's
Yep.
so crazy to me, some of the things that exist. And sponsorship doesn't look the same anymore either. Just like photography and videography doesn't look the same any longer. You know, I don't, our world is so weird. Like there's just some days where I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's definitely tough. You hit it on the head, 100%.
Yeah.
It's expenses, and then yeah, I'd rather lose a little bit there and have a good time
Yeah.
than to
Yep.
give it back to old Uncle Sam.
Right. Well,
So,
it's
yeah,
it, I like to call it an entertainment tax. Is
yeah,
is is the reality of it. It's like even for me, yes, there are times that I make money doing the thing that I'm doing, and there's a lot of times I show up and, it's just I'm throwing money at fuel and food and, whatever else I had to do to get there.
yeah.
And but I had a good time. I met new people. It's the entertainment tax. I could have gone to the movies and spent $40 on tickets and $40 on food that cost me $10 at the grocery store. It's like, where do I want my entertainment to come from? It's kind of the same thing.
I agree, 100%. I'd much rather go drifting, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good time. I can't say that I'm a movie nerd too. Me and my daughter go to the movies all the time, but that's whatever. So
I don't go to the theater much anymore. The last time I went, I have a 8-year-old in my world that's not mine, but as far as he's concerned, he's mine. And I was like, we need to do something different. And he only gets like a couple hours with me each week because he's not my child. So part time, I still try to show up for him.
yeah,
And I said, we need to do something different. And I was like, what, screw it. We'll go to the movies. Well, I wasn't paying attention. The good time to go was the IMAX version. So I got to pay extra for that. And then, I spent almost $100 to take the two of us to the movies. I'm like,
yeah,
what did I do today?
crazy, crazy.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Give up racing and just open a movie theater. I swear,
It's,
gee,
it's,
be able to make some
it's,
money finally.
I'm like, I'm not
Oh
built for
my God.
this anymore.
Yeah, no, no, I'm with you. Yeah, it's we had a point where I wasn't drifting and like we weren't focused on hosting, and we went to the movies. I think every weekend over the summer,
Yeah.
me and her, and then I think a few times the younger one he wanted to go, and then my girlfriend stuff like that she came, but like it was cool to just go see all different stuff. And then I look back and I was like, holy shit, that was a lot of damn money that we spent out in like a
Yeah,
small time frame.
exactly.
It's
Exactly.
okay. It's gonna go somewhere.
Andy said everything is so expensive. Amen to that.
Yeah,
It's funny. Like I don't mind going to the movies, but I have found that as I've gotten older, because apparently I'm old, as I have gotten older, I don't mind spending my money at the movie theater, but it has to be a movie I'm willing to spend my money on at the theater.
yeah,
And I think I've said this on here before. My family, so my friends that are like family, we have a running history of anytime a Fast and the Furious movie comes out, it has to be watched in the theater. It cannot be watched the first time at home. We all have to go. I don't care if I have to go twice because this portion of the group couldn't go on that day. I will pay for it to go twice. And
I respect that.
so that's one of the things that we do. Hi River. Um, that's one of the things that we usually do, and we know the movies are ridiculous. They're meant to be ridiculous, because
Yeah,
somebody gave me shit about that one time. They're like, Dawn. And I'm like, don't start with me. It's tradition. We always go.
we're gonna go broke doing this. It's fine. Yeah, no,
We're
I'm with you.
going, damn it.
Uh, I'm with you. I'm with
We're
you.
going. And so like that's like the one tradition that has to happen like every time one comes out. And the worst part is I'm now in the theater going, stop it. Because like the next thing they do is so ridiculous. Like it's just not even like physics.
Yeah,
Like it's
I,
not even physics anymore.
I don't even know which one I stopped watching. I stopped watching them like a while ago, and I saw like cars flying through space and shit. I'm like, what in the fuck? What is this? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not watching this shit. I'm okay. I can't go drift in space, so I can't relate to this shit. So yeah, no, no, yeah. It's been some years for me for any Fast and the Furious franchise. So I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah,
so stuck on YouTube. I don't. Everything now is like YouTube, everything, and
yeah,
I'm always trying to learn new stuff. So I'm always taking different classes and shit, like IT
same.
stuff, and you know what I mean. So if I get time from not doing a million things a day, then yeah, maybe I'll go watch some weird ass shit about cars flying through space or something. So yeah.
I
Cool.
do the same. I do the same thing. YouTube University and Google search.
That's it. That's it.
That's
Keep
most
that
of
brain
my
moving.
day.
That's
That
it.
is most of my day. Because, oh, my Google Home is talking to me because I said
See,
Google
it's
out
already ready. It's about to learn new things right now. That's crazy.
loud. I'm
That's
doing
crazy.
great. I'm like, who's talking to me?
What the hell's happening over here? Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, like my day job, being a director at Ford, like we're always tasked to like continuously train and learn new things. And there's
Mm-hmm.
so much shit, I got to know for that. And then I also build cars for RTR. Like I'm a RTR installer and supplier for
Okay.
my own place at AMA, and we're doing RTR stuff, and then like I got to know their install procedures, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to retest for ASE certifications, and there's never a
Yeah.
day where I can just sit back and I relax. My relaxed day is when I'm not doing a million things, and I'm like, I'm bored. I
Yeah.
need to go do something. So I don't know. Maybe in a
I
few years, maybe that'll change.
I talk about that. Oh, we got Lewis the goat in the chat. Welcome, Lewis. I love Lewis.
Good
Although
dude.
he managed to blow his car up finally at DOD. I got one run and I'm
Oh,
like, where's Lewis? Like I
oh
never
shit.
saw him again.
Oh
And
shit. I don't
apparently
know
he
that.
finally blew the car up.
Damn. I don't know. It blew up. That's crazy. Oh shit. That
Well,
LS has
I mean,
lasted forever though, right? It's been
I was gonna
years.
say let's
Yeah.
be honest. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. Lewis
It,
has
it
been making sure it keeps going.
it didn't owe him anything at this point. He's got the life out of it for
He
sure.
got what he paid for it,
That's right. That's
right?
right. He's a good dad too. He's a hell of a driver too. That's for sure. He's amazing.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lewis is probably one of the not the first drifters that I met when I started going to the events, but I got to know him when I met Dylan. And I need Dylan to drive again this year. Dylan McGumber. He stripped his Nissan down, and I was like, "Oh, dude, you went for it."
yeah, he
He
did.
stripped it all the way down, and
Love it.
but I got to get to know Lewis once I got to know Dylan, and River said I have some LSs for sale, Lewis.
There you go. There you go.
um, but Lewis is funny because whenever I get into a car, when I get in the passenger seat, like I always have a camera in my hand, whether it's my cell phone, whether it's an actual camera, whatever. And Lewis is like, look, he's like, I tell everybody, at least for the first one, you just have to get in and enjoy it. I said, Lewis, I understand, but here's what's going to happen if I don't have the camera going. I was like, you're going to do something cool or something cool around us is going to happen. I'm going to be really mad that I didn't get it.
Exactly. 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 Oh man.
So but I liked his approach to it because he's like, look, he's like, just have fun with it. Let's just go have
Yeah.
fun with it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm down to have fun.
Yeah.
Lewis said
Of
off
course.
season has started. I'm relaxing.
Hell yeah.
He's like, fuck that engine
Yeah.
till
It's yeah,
March.
you got time. It's all right. It's an LS for like Lego blocks anyway. You'll be all right. I feel that.
Oh my goodness.
I wish I had an off season. There's no off season for us over here. We're too damn busy.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
it's
get it.
crazy.
I thought I was gonna have an off season. Like I figured like January, February, like it'd probably be like a lot of downtime. And then
Yeah.
I'm already over here going, what other events happen in, like checking
Right.
Motorsports rag and shit.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong with me?
I'll tell you. One of these years we'll just relax. You know what I mean? I think that might happen one of these
Probably
years.
when I'm dead, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Hey,
Lewis said, fuck that engine.
I respect that. I respect that. I've said that same shit for years to my car. I respect that.
He said 1,000%, fuck that engine.
No, I ain't mad at you one bit. Hell yeah. Damn,
But yeah,
no, I
it's
feel that.
definitely I think that's again why I keep people like Lewis are the reason I keep showing up. People like River are the reason I keep showing up. Andy,
Yeah.
Dylan for that matter. I check in on Dylan probably like every 3 months. I'm like, are you still alive? And then I get the update on whatever's going on. And I'm like, okay, miss, you see you at the next one.
There we go. That's a busy dude, man. He's always doing something.
Hmm.
He is.
It's ADHD. It's fine. He's fine.
I feel it. I feel it. I suffer. I understand completely.
Well,
Oh
so
man.
but that's what the funny thing is. I don't think anybody realizes like that's the underlying common denominator with all of us. Like every last one of us. The reason we do the amount of things that we do or why we keep doing it, we're doing it for the dopamine. You know what I
100%.
mean? Like it's just
100%. Gotta be doing. I
doing
hate
it for
being
the
bored.
dopamine.
I absolutely
Hmm.
hate it. I can't stand just sitting around not doing shit. It irritates the hell out of me. So yeah, I'm with it.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I know for myself what happens is like when I have that downtime, my brain goes, "Hey, you have things to do. You should
Yeah.
be doing this or you should be doing that." So you don't really enjoy the downtime because your brain is constantly trying to attack you for not doing things. But
Yep.
then you do the things and you're like, "God, I'm so tired. I feel really burnt out. I should probably take a day off." But you don't because then your brain's like, "Hey, you should be doing things." It is an awful cycle. And I'm sure everybody in the chat can relate, but it is an awful cycle.
That's terrible. That's why I don't take my vacation till like the end of the year. And my vacation is like 2 weeks off from day job, and I close the shop for 2 weeks, and I don't deal with shit.
I don't even know what a
And
vacation is.
you should try it. It's fun. It really. And then you wake up and you're like, oh fuck, I don't have to go do my normal stuff, and you just do a bunch of random shit. I was at Top Golf. I don't know what the hell. I was welding shit that I didn't even need to weld. I was like, this is fucking cool. And then Christmas happened, and then I'm right back to work again. Yeah, it's
Mopar Travis says, I'm cutting the back of my car off while listening to this.
my boy. Hey, shout out to him. That's another guy
Hmm.
that just awesome
We
human
love
being.
Travis.
Yeah,
We love
he's supported
Travis.
me in AMA for so long. That dude's amazing. So he's a good guy.
Travis, unfortunately, every time I see him, something goes wrong with the stupid car. I'm like, Travis,
Yeah,
what are we doing?
yeah, but he's consistent with that thing though. He won't give it up, and I respect
Yeah.
that. I love it. I
Well,
really do.
but I think there is something to the fact, and Travis, you can chime in if you want. River said drifting is my vacation.
Man, I
um,
don't know about that. I'll let you have that one. I get stressed
well,
out too. Shit.
River and Justin have made it so fun for themselves because they drive together so often that
Oh,
I
okay.
could see it. One of my favorite statements from River recently was Trevor. Apparently, Trevor made a poor decision, and in one of the drifting days that they were doing at Capitol. Next time I talk to River, River's like, "Yeah, Trevor's in timeout. He'll be there, but he's in timeout."
Damn.
I'm like, "That's the best way you could have said that."
Damn.
Um, but for Travis's car, I could see where knowing your car so well and knowing what you do well to be able to fix it every time something fails or just is finally done, it needs to be replaced, whatever. He always seems fairly well prepared because he knows what typically breaks.
Yeah.
Sometimes he knows why, sometimes he doesn't know why, but he has the extra thing with him. And I think there's some semblance to that of like the devil, he knows the car so well at this point that he
Yep.
can pivot if he needs to.
I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah. It's an interesting car to see go sideways. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I met Travis, Kylie, Justin Napier. I don't know if that's how he pronounces his last name, but I met them all at the same time at Summit because they were coming as iron slides, old iron slides or sides or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And so basically, because they all had very similar cars, there was another gentleman, the one with the truck. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Love his truck. Um, Travis said he said had it for 20 years this August. That's how long he's had that car.
My man. Hell yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
but so like I got to meet them kind of like all in one shot, which was kind of cool because you look at Travis and then you look at Kylie's cars and you're like, it's the same car, but it's not the same car. And then Justin has a Monte Carlo, but his car is very dialed in as if it were like almost like a NASCAR car, like with the seats. You have to get in and out through the windows. You can't get in and out through the doors. I wasn't even sure I was going to accomplish that, but I did get in and out of the car.
Respect it. I respect it.
David, that's who it was. David Luffill. He had the truck. Like he's just got one of like those sexy patinaed old school trucks. Like when you see it, you're like, fuck yeah, sling it. Like when you see him.
Drift Week, I think I saw this truck. Yeah, at some point during one of their Drift Week stops or something. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, so I don't remember if it was Faint or Fright was the first round when I met everybody like last year. But yeah, Old Iron Slides is what it was. They were just kind of like collectively coming together. Brian Brewington, they like everybody was like all in one spot, and then everybody ran. Like it was really great. That's actually, interestingly enough, it's probably a toss up between that video and my final bout video of Jimmy O. What is his team?
Oh, Front Street. Yeah, Jeff Stonebeck.
So those two videos, I think, are my highest viewed, highest interaction. I think that the video with Travis, Kylie, and Justin had something like 11,000 likes or something on it. Like it's a ridiculous number. But it was just one of those things where, because you don't see those vehicles drifting often, it was just like everybody's like, fuck yeah, you're like muscle car, old car. You know?
That's unique, that's for sure. I don't get how the hell they swing those damn things around.
It's so crazy.
Big sedans and shit, and I see them. I'm like, it's literally a yacht with wheels. Like, there's no damn way I'm sliding.
Yeah, it's crazy. A land boat essentially. Absolutely. It's just like swinging a boat. And Travis, was it you who did the burnout pit at Hyperfest? You did the burnout pit and hit the wall, if I remember correctly, with the rear end. Like that rear end has taken so much damage at this point.
I remember that video. I'm doing that. Oh shit, that's cool shit. Well, that's to say. I mean, I just respect it because there's no way I'm driving something that long and that big and doing what they do. Hats off to them. There's no way. I'm good. I'm a big dude with small cars. I'd rather just drive that shit. I'm not doing that. Oh my God.
It's definitely interesting, especially like if they're close to a wall in some way, shape, or form. Like there's part of you that's like, you're waiting for it. You're like, nope, they made it.
Yeah. Like wall riding a fucking 14-foot long car is insane, or 18 feet. However long does it? Yeah, crazy. Shout out to those guys.
Travis said it's all the fun. He says, I've done tapped a few walls.
It happens.
Absolutely. It happens to everybody. And and honestly, even for Hyperfest, the burnout pit for Hyperfest, Brandon with Jenny the Boat, he did the burnout pit for that adventure as well too. And I'm like, again, I don't think you realize how small this is, the burnout pit, by comparison to the size of how long those vehicles are. And you're just like, okay, so Travis is 17 foot. If I remember correctly, I think Jenny is 20 foot. I think, because I remember talking, we were talking to Kylie at one point in time, and the links were very similar, but he was just barely a little bit longer. So I think he's a little closer to 20 foot, but I'll have to double check with him. He's one I should bring on for a live so he can talk about Jenny the Boat. Like I really should. He's one I definitely need to bring on.
Good idea. Yeah.
I'll have to go poke at him for February.
There you go. There you go. He seems like such a nice guy. I've never like met him or anything like that, but
He's so
yeah,
chill, and I love
he
the fact
seems
that he always shows up. He wears a Hawaiian shirt to like every event. Like he owns his persona. He owns the boat. Like it all just ties together so well.
yeah.
And he's just super chill. Like anybody could walk up to him and have a conversation. He's just like, "Yep."
Hell yeah. I like that. I don't like arrogant people, dickhead people. There's no reason for it. You know, if you're cool
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
especially in this community, and we there's obviously those people that are like that, but I if you got a good vibe to you, I want to hang out and party. You know, that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to.
Well, but I think that's what keeps people showing up is a
Yeah,
lot of the drift community is like that. I
yeah,
think the hard part with the drift community is when people confuse takeovers with drifting, and there's this weird blend that happens with car meets. I am not a car meet girly. I'm not like there's nothing happening, which was
yeah,
how I stumbled into the takeovers originally was car meets that got spicy is pretty much what happened. And then
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can work with this. And then it was like the more I saw them, I saw how toxic they were, and I'm like,
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know if this is where I want to spend my time.
I feel
But
that. Yeah,
there's just like this weird like layer of things that happens, and the car meets are part of that. And I don't know, the car meets just I have a friend of mine, he loves going to car shows. And he has his own YouTube channel. He does garage style stuff, and I've gone to a couple and I'm like, I love you so much, but I can't do this.
you're right. Yeah,
Because I'm like, I have done a lap, I have done a loop. Can we go? Or we can go now, right? Okay. I drove separately. I will meet you at the restaurant for lunch. Like
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like
I'm
I,
with you.
I don't want to. I don't want to photograph a car sitting beside another car. If I
Yeah,
can photograph a car on its own, sure. Especially if it's unique. Like we were talking about unique. That's also one of the things that I like about the party cars and the shit boxes is because some of the stuff that they do to these cars is so ridiculous. Like it speaks to my soul for some reason. There is one gentleman, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It starts with an A, and his Instagram is ridiculous. It's like I love lot lizards or something. And
whoa,
I know
whoa. All right,
some of these Instagram handles,
that's
but
all
he
right.
has this ridiculous setup, and it I can't remember if he's got I can't remember what he has, and I'm not even going to misspeak on it, but it has a ridiculous paint job. It has fur on the dash. It has fur on the ceiling. It has fur on the steering wheel. It has ridiculous things hanging from like the rear view. I shot him when we had snow last year for one of the private events that I went to. And he eventually had this weird long exhaust coming out of the back of it. And I'm just like, I want to know what you would do if you had money. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if he just had an unlimited budget, I would love to know what he would do with it because it was just so amazingly ridiculous that I
Yeah.
love it. It's one of my favorites. Not because of the driving and the drifting, but it's just such a ridiculous
The
car.
creative part of it. Yeah. No, I respect that.
Yes,
Yeah, I respect
yes.
that.
But it it kind of also goes to I appreciate supercars. I do. Like I appreciate them and what they can do and what they can accomplish, but they feel like a dime a dozen because they're all manufactured the same way for the most part and they all look the same. I would much rather I would much rather photograph a Travis or a Kylie where they have this old school car that has weird adaptations or modifications or a funky paint job or whatever it is. I don't care. I'm way more interested in that than I am in like a current supercar that is the same color red, every Corvette that's the same color and the same setup. Like,
Yeah, I respect that.
okay, it's like it's great that you had the money to go buy the expensive car, but what makes it special other than the fact that it has all the setup? Now,
Right.
you take the older thing and give it all the things the supercar has, sign me up. I want to know about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just that level of creativity and process is I think what I appreciate the most about some car people. Like they just like the things they come up with. And I am not technical enough with cars. Like I always love when the guys are like, yeah, the E34 with the blah 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 engine and the hydro whatever. And I'm like, I love you so much that you think I know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, that's us for sure. I feel that. I gotta catch myself sometimes. I'll be at events and I'm like, yeah, my F22 or like my R32 has,
Uh-huh.
this rear gear and like my anti squat is like this, and people are like, oh, can I get a ride along? I'm like, no, because I just told you this shit. You know what? Fuck it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the car people, man. Like we're definitely wired different. I'll say that. It's
Well, and it's tough sometimes because I obviously know what a BMW looks like, right?
right,
So I can tell which ones are a BMW by looking at it. Sometimes from the rear, from the front, whatever. I don't know the difference between an E34 and an E36. And my favorite thing is they're like, yeah, the silver E36 with the blah 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 swap, whether it's an LS swap or whatever it is. And I'm like, again, what does it look like?
right.
It's silver. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
Does it have anything on the windows? Is it missing a bumper? Like, I need to know what it looks like.
yeah. Associated with something. Yeah, no, yep. I'm with that. See, again, that goes back to unique cars, right? So, like, if you go to a drift event, and how many F22s are you seeing? My
Yeah.
style BMW. How many Skylines are you seeing, right? Or like Chris
Hmm.
DeVore's sedan G35. You're not seeing a
Yep.
shit ton of those. So it's like I think that's what makes drifting also so cool, and is regardless of your level of where you get to, there's
Yeah.
still such a creative mindset that kicks in that you don't want to be it's so cookie cutter. I mean, there's only so much you can do to a
Yeah.
car before it looks like something else. But that's what I respect, regardless if you're grassroots, pro am, pro, FD, DMAC, wherever the hell D1 makes no difference. Even D1
Sure.
cars, like my inspiration for building drift cars comes from that early 2000s, like JDM stuff with D1 and stuff like that. So I love cars that are functional, but they look incredibly low, big wide body kits, things like that. That's just what I grew up to love about drifting, and that does separate me from somebody else at that point. So it's
Yeah.
everybody's got their own flavor, but I could, I love when I go to an event and I'm like, oh shit, there's Jimmy because he's got this, or there's me because
Uh-huh.
I got this, So
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, I feel it though. But the technical side of shit, like I'm like that all the time. Like I could talk for hours about why my car's doing what it's doing, and
Uh-huh.
some people get it, some people don't, and I'm like, okay, cool, all right, I'm gonna go drive.
The the hard part is I am always happy to learn, right? Like I'm
Right,
always happy to learn, but that like you can't always learn in every space. Like you don't
right,
have the time to learn it, which I think is why I want to take a different approach this year with the like doing more of like the vlogging portion and talking to people is,
right,
you know, you don't know what you don't know until somebody mentions it. And I love the aspect of learning about people, which is kind of like what I mentioned about Ryan. Like him and his dad are a whole ass documentary of like motorsports history. They really
yes,
are.
yep,
And but nobody knows that unless you're fortunate enough to be close enough to them to be able to have that time to have those conversations. Nobody knows that.
I agree.
And that's why I think my approach is going to be a little different this year, which is tough because when I go to the track, I'm like, must capture everything, like
Right,
you're
right.
like you're trying to get video and photos of everything that goes past you the entire time. And I went, wait, I didn't get any B-roll. I didn't take any photos of people. Damn it. Next time.
Yeah,
And next
yeah,
time.
yeah. I think that's a good approach. Yeah, and you're right. They do have a crazy story, and me being
They
fortunate enough
really
to know
do.
them for such a long time, and I was
Yeah.
around way back there when I was a teenager and stuff. Like the shit that I saw from like the Nissan, and then like Ryan had I think it was a 280Z or no, a 300ZX, his green one, way back in the day. It used to be a different color. I
Hmm.
think even before it was green. Like he was road racing that damn thing and then going to drift it. So it's
Yeah.
cool. Talented family, very
Oh
talented
yeah,
family. So
100%. 100%.
yeah,
Well, they're both the type of people where you can explain what's happening with your car very generically and they'll be like you can tell they're processing and they probably already know the answer to solve your
yeah,
problem.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
I wish I had that superpower, sir.
It's it's not all it's cracked up to be. That shit sucks because then you get phone calls from people. Alan, my car's doing this whooshy noise. What the hell is it? I don't fucking know. I'm not in front of it. You know? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and
Never
then
ever touch
there's a lot of
anything good.
yeah. Well, and then there's times where like when we're talking about like what the cars look like Travis, the other Travis, talking about changing up the color of the car. There was
Right.
one event that I was at. I finally met Devin, so another one, Yo Hot Boy on Instagram. I'm just
Okay.
like, you guys on these Instagrams, I can't.
All right.
I had finally met him in person. He'd been one of my Instagram friends for a while, but I finally met him in person. I didn't know he had more than one car. There's this really pretty car on the track once it gets dark, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I love that. And then I find out it's Devin's, and then I'm like, Devin, I didn't know that was you. And then I also find out he brings it out like once a year. That's it. Like that's the baby. It comes out maybe once a year if you're lucky. And I'm like, can you call me next year and just let me
Yeah, put me on the schedule. I want to see it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
but that happens so often. It's like, the paint changes, the wrap changes, they add a decal, whatever it is. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know that was you, bud. Sorry. Because maybe you
Yeah.
didn't capture that car. Because once you start to know people, you start to capture their cars more because you want to support your person. You
Yeah.
want to support your friend. And
I'm
it
with it.
just like, it's like changing clothes. It's like changing outfits like several times a day. Sometimes I'm like, guys, I just need you to let me know what you did.
Hell yeah. I think I like that though. Like I got to the point where like the Skyline got very well known, just like my 350Z, and people knew like, oh shit, he's here. Like I'm gonna go drive, and like I'm not famous and all that weird shit or whatever, but it's like shit. Like I know Alan's coming. Like let's go, let's have a good time. I know my friends will be there, and like that's my car. And then now like I showed up to DOD with the BMW, and I posted on Facebook and stuff, and people saw like
I
the car and
still
shit.
have no clue what beam. Are we talking about the white one at
The
Capitol?
white one. Yeah, yeah, that one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So I show up and like, I saw my buddy Dustin Miles and a couple other people and things. I'm like, oh shit, we didn't where's your car? Like, like is your Skyline here or shit? And I'm like, no, it's that white BMW all in the front. They're like, that's you? I was like, yeah. They're like, what the fuck? So it's like I like that shit too, because it's like, I don't really I love showing up and not everybody knowing like, oh hey, that's him in a different car and stuff. Plus it also challenges me to drive different stuff. I got five
Sure.
different drift cars
Sure.
going at any point, and I want to be able to hop in all five of them and go do different style of driving. So
Yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. But I don't know, when I pop out and I got my helmet on and stuff and it says AMA everywhere, I guess they'll figure it out at that point. So
Well, and it was interesting bumping into you at Capitol because obviously I knew your name because I had seen it with all the Pantera stuff that had come out, once it came out, because I
yeah,
didn't know who you were prior to that. And then when you said, I'm like, oh, I know who you are. I didn't know who you were standing in front of me, but I was like, oh, I know
yeah,
who you
yeah,
are. That's fine.
yeah. I like that though. I don't want to just that ghost. You know what I mean? And it's cool. Like, and I think talking about that, like, since we dropped all the stuff about Pantera and like the media that came from it, it got us a lot of different eyes from different people that didn't know us, and then some of the people that have known us, from Shenandoah days, Dominion days, and just us driving at different places. Like, oh shit, Allen and AMA is like coming back with different stuff. It's really
Right.
cool. Is we got like a different crowd that we didn't have before, and then we still got our OG crowd that we did have. So it's always
Okay.
fun, seeing comments and people are like, damn man, is this like a new thing? And we're like, nah, we've been around a long time. We just pop in and pop out. So and
Yeah,
Capital's interesting. That was
it is interesting.
I was
It's
I
definitely
was
interesting.
not feeling it that day. Yeah, my
Well, let's be honest though. You picked an ice day
it was a
essentially to show
terrible time.
off.
Yes, no, yeah, it's not. And again, the car's still like, so we're working with different companies for like development. Like I just worked with
Okay.
a new suspension company that just built me a different angle kit. So now we're offering their
Okay.
stuff here stateside. I got shout out to TDMI. They made
Oh,
me
I know them.
Yeah, they made me custom coilovers for my car, and we're in development for some other stuff with that car and stuff. So like I have so much research and development stuff going on with the car and things. Like when I show up to like Capital, even like a DoD, I wasn't there for like picks or any of that shit. I was just there to test the car and like have a good time. And
Right, right.
DoD was awesome. I went through like 10 tires of DoD, so that was cool. So I knew like the car
Yeah.
could do things, but oh my god, like Capital is just I want to say Capital, like that event for me was just different, and
Yeah.
I'm used to going to like events like my own stuff or like Summit or Chris's events or E Town, whatever, and like I'll be transparent with you. I've never in a driver's meeting, and I'm so glad I'm saying this because like this shit blew my mind. I've never in a driver's meeting ever in my life heard someone say, "Hey, well, this is Capital. Like we crashed. This is what happens." And my brain, I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" Like me and my brother, my crew chief, we're standing there, and Christian Price was there. He's my media guy with Hannah and stuff, and he's like,
Hmm.
what the hell was that? So like it was just different, you know what I mean? It's like, everybody's got their
Well,
flavor, so
so
it's
Ed,
interesting.
Ethan just joined. He was one of the drivers there.
Yeah,
River,
yeah,
who was talking earlier, he's one of the driver. He usually drives there.
yeah, yeah.
And I mentioned Justin. Well, they're both working on upgrading their cars at the moment.
Sick.
Just Justin had this like sad looking Lexus IS, and
Okay.
like I don't even know how the doors opened. Like the car is just impressive. But
Hell yeah.
he had a new chassis. He had a chassis waiting for the engine that was in this particular one, and that's what he's working on in the off time.
Sick.
And Capital is a big part of where they learned how not to kill each other, is the best way that I can put it.
Okay.
They learned how to
Okay.
drive well. They learned what hitting a wall felt like. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what they mean by it's Capital. Of course, you're going to
Yeah.
crash. It's a tight course. It's a small course. I like it from a media perspective because I can capture so much from like one position.
Sure.
Um, he's Ethan says, no, we don't crash at Capital, never ever. So
Yeah.
I always give Ethan a hard time. I was like, you're so bougie
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's certain he's very big on definitely having the car look a certain way, and he's another one of mine where he changed the freaking color and it went from purple to the pink red that he's got going on it now.
Oh, the
But
350Z.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
so, but he's one where I've bumped into him so many times and I've never hopped in the car. I've finally hopped in the car this last round. And it's interesting to see the dynamic at Capital because you get a huge dynamic on drivers because the entry is so inexpensive. A lot of people are willing to go learn there, which is where the
Right.
crashing portion comes in, is because it's a learner friendly track in a lot of ways. In other ways, it is not.
Right.
But because they can get the seat time for the price that they're paying, a lot of people will go,
Sure.
regardless of the fact that they could potentially hit a Jersey wall. The pavement's not amazing in every spot.
Yeah.
And actually, the last car that I hopped in for the day, we ended up hitting the tires. The rear end of the car ended up hitting the tires because it started to ice. We had wet, 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 wet. Sun started to go down, temperature dropped. He's like, I should have anticipated that. I was like, look, it happens. We're both fine. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. It sucks that you got to fix the car. You got to pull the frame out. But at the same time, we're okay.
Right.
So that's what they mean by like the crashing thing. So, but I
Yeah.
get it.
It
We're
was
supposed to
weird
be
for me.
avoiding that.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just, and I think that comes from like me being a host too. It's like,
Mhm.
I've hosted tons of drivers meetings and things. Like,
Yeah,
I never heard that in a meeting, so I was like, all right, dope. So, and then like the layout thing, I was like, well, what's the layout? It's like, do your
I
thing,
know.
and I'm like, hey,
I know.
okay,
That's why I
so,
came to talk to you because I
yeah,
understood.
yeah. You saw my face. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? So, but no, it's cool. That like, let me back up, and I don't want to say like I'm bashing, and I hope I didn't come off like that. I'm not bashing on
No, no,
the
not at all.
facility or
Not at
like
all. It's just
the
different.
event.
It's very
Yeah,
grassroots. It's very
yeah, yeah.
different.
It was interesting, and then obviously just the weather itself was just shit. So I just
Yeah.
wasn't. That car wasn't
That's what
feeling
I
it. Yeah.
that's what I meant. Like you pick like the worst possible day
Right.
to try the
Right.
track out.
it was cool because it's like, oh yeah, come out for free. And then like we spent so much money to get there, and then I had my
Mhm.
I almost said the wrong thing. I had somebody come with me, right, who had another car, and
Okay.
we were there for a reason. I'll say that much. We were hoping everything would
Okay.
dry up some, and
Okay.
that event was going to be an entry clip for what's coming that we already spoke about earlier,
Fair.
right?
Fair.
So
Yep.
we just finished his car, my car, and we were like, oh, we're gonna get some tandem, and we've tandem for
Uh-huh.
forever together. And when I went out for the
Uh-huh.
first lap, he literally just kept his car in the trailer. He's like, dude, I'm going home. I'm not crashing my shit today. I was like, dude, and my brother rode with me, and I remember initiating, and the car went way out, and I was like, okay, I can catch it. And then when I came around that tree turn, and I went even farther out, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not gonna crash my shit.
Mhm.
So I told
Yeah.
myself after like 5 more laps, I was like, yeah, I'm a pack it on the trailer my damn self. You know, I'm not doing that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to crash it. I don't want to crash a newer BMW. I don't want to pay for that repair bill right now. I'm good.
Well, there was another driver there that day that didn't drive as well. My friend Cole. I didn't realize it was him. I was like, "Is that Cole?" Because he hasn't driven in a
Cole,
while. He
Cole
actually,
Ramsey, right?
yeah.
That's who I was talking about. That's my brother. So
I love him.
so Cole, weird story, super fast about him. Me and Cole have known each other for probably about 11 years, and
Okay.
he's my daughter's godfather. I'm his daughter's
Okay.
godfather. Me and Cole go so far back. Cole got into drifting because I kept pushing him in that envelope. He was a road racer, and I kept pushing him in
Okay.
that envelope of drifting. Cole is AMA. He's a part of AMA. Cole is a huge
Okay.
part of
Okay.
AMA. That car just got done at my shop. That's why we were there to test stuff.
Well,
So
what's so funny is I didn't realize he was at DOD. He's one of my
yeah,
favorite people. He's him and oh my God, I can see his face. The other guy that he rode with all the time at Summit.
Daniel, Daniel,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, Daniel.
yep,
Um, I haven't seen Cole in like a year because the last
mhm,
DOD he ate a wall,
yep. I was
and
there.
I
Yep,
didn't know he was at this DOD. I was like, "Sir, can you please tell me next time because I
yeah.
need a hug." You know what I
So
mean? Like,
weird,
it is a requirement.
weirdly enough, so like me and when I say family, me and him are family, right? So like Cole,
Okay.
he ate the wall at DoD that year with his LS car. His LS car is getting redone as we
Hmm.
speak, and then this
Yeah.
car. I can now talk about it because like I couldn't for a while. This car came up. I was at his house in West Virginia, and
Okay.
his daughter were playing, and I'm sitting in his living room, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? He said, what do you mean? I'm like, no, we need to drive. Like, we haven't drifted in forever. He's like, man, I don't have a
Yeah.
drift car. I'm like, you got a perfectly good 335. We went back and forth, back and forth. That day, we started ordering parts for his car, my other
Okay.
car, and he had his car shipped up to the shop, and we tore everything out, got shit
Okay.
done. He attended the
Now we're talking about a different car than the one that he was swinging before, right? Okay.
yeah, yeah. So this is his. We built. He has his seat time car, and then my white BMW is my seat time car. His car that
Okay.
he crashed is his pro car. My Skyline's like my pro level car stuff. So like we have those, and then we
Okay.
have our seat time cars. So it all came out because like I was like, dude, I'm hosting because he knew about Pantera,
How
you know.
how have we not met prior to now?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be
I
honest.
don't
Like
know how we haven't met prior to now.
I'm talking here, but like this is different for me. I'm not a person that gets on camera. I don't do I don't do podcasts. I don't do a lot of this stuff at all. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I do videos. I got a YouTube thing or whatever. But like I'm not a camera person. I'm a very introverted person when
Sure.
I'm not out and about. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. It's like it's weird because you talk. As soon as you say yeah, Cole came out, that's the guy who was like, hey yeah, he just got in his truck and went back home,
Okay.
right? But
Well, because I when I pulled in, I thought it was him. Like it took me
yeah,
a second, like, and I sat there. I was like, and then I went to go find him to go say hi, and I was like, I am so confused. I swear I
yep,
just saw that man.
yeah, no,
So I
him and
messaged him. I
yeah.
messaged him, and he's like, "Yeah, nah." He's like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah, he was pissed. Yeah, he got out the truck and he's like, dude, this is bullshit. I'm not crashing my car today. I was like, okay. And Sasha,
Yeah.
his dog, and Daniela's his fiance, she was there and the dog was there and I'm playing with them and he's like, dude, I'm going to fuck home. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go try to drive. He's like, don't crash the car. We have so much shit to do next year. I'm like, I know. But yeah, he was actually we were pitted together at DOD. So if you were at Main Circuit right over the
I
bridge,
was.
there was a white
Uh-huh.
truck. That white truck was mine. There was a huge
Okay.
Fenda tent a Kenda tip
Okay.
that's like 30 feet long, whatever. That's mine. And we were parked right
Okay.
next to them. So he was actually there pitted with me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I told him that. I was like, "How the hell were you at DOD and I didn't even know you were there?"
yeah. So
Because
we drove
him
together
and
just on like certain courses, and that's it. So
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
because him and Daniel were like probably like the first two like I hopped in a passenger seat with. Maybe not
yeah,
like the exact first two, but like the first like group, if you will,
yeah.
that I hopped in passenger with. And Daniel's a really damn good driver too, man. So like I think the new setup, I love the paint job on the BMW that he has. That color, love it.
Yeah.
And his daughter did that. And I'm like, you
No
go,
shit.
girl.
Yeah. I
You
haven't
do
seen
you,
him in
Bill.
years. Me and Feaster, I've known Daniel Feaster for a long time, so I haven't seen him in years. I was gonna buy an S13 from him. That's how we met, like 12
Okay.
years ago, something like that, 12, 13 years
Okay.
ago. Well, I think when he first started his shop and stuff, and I haven't seen him in forever either. But it's just crazy you're talking about Cole. I'm like, yeah, like I was just at his house, like hanging on the couch. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's got some cool announcements coming. Yeah, you'll see.
Well,
You're
good.
gonna see a
'Cause
lot of AMA stuff. So
I was glad to see him because I was actually a little concerned that like he had kind of given it up after the hit at DOD because I hadn't
yeah,
seen
no,
anything from him at all or seen him anywhere.
yeah. So I mean, he runs his own business and all that, and then like life
Yeah.
happened, and I
Yeah.
won't
Oh
go into
yeah.
all his stuff. You know what I mean? But like
No,
he,
that's fine. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. And then and it literally was just, I'm not gonna let my friends, not be broke with me, and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
if I'm coming back, you're coming back, and
Yeah.
we've always been like, I'm on, he's off, and stuff like that, and it kind of sucks that it took this long till now we both have just running seat time
Sure.
cars, but it's cool. It's such a small world because I get he got into it, back in the day because of me pushing that envelope, and I'm so
Yeah.
happy I did. He's such a consistent driver too. He's really good. So
Yeah, because Capital and Summit and Shenandoah, him and Daniel, I've seen them. I've seen both of them at all three,
yeah,
and not this year, not 2025, but the year before. Him and Daniel were at almost every event together.
yep,
Um,
100%.
I didn't see Daniel at DOD. I don't think I saw him at Fainter Fright. And Fainter Fright, like he was just making Shenandoah look easy. Like he was just burning through carousel.
Hell yeah, yeah. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, so I won't go into that. But
I gotcha. I gotcha.
so yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I see Cole all the time, so I'll definitely
Okay.
I'll tell Cole you disappointed him by going home early, so I'll let him know. I
I
got you.
already told him.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, there you go.
I did because I messaged him. I'm like, where did you go? I swear I
Yeah,
just saw you.
I was so bummed out he left. I was like, bro, we had a whole plan. This was our weekend. We're hanging out. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm not totaling my car for this shit. I was like, okay, all right, sounds good. So which is
Yeah.
I understand. That's totally fair.
Of
So.
course.
But
Of
yeah, you'll
course.
see a lot more of him and a lot of
Okay.
other cool people. And I think everybody that's still here with us, they'll like to see what's coming. It's going to be interesting to say the
I look
least.
forward to
So
it. I look forward to it.
yeah,
All right. Well, I have taken up almost 3 hours of your time, sir.
no
So
worries. All good. All good. Hell yeah.
so there's no more questions in the comments anywhere, no more statements. So I'm gonna go
Cool.
ahead and let you go.
Okay.
And I very much appreciate, and actually you can stay on. I can end everything. You can stay on after the chat.
Cool. Cool.
But I very much appreciate your time,
Yeah.
and
Thank
I
you.
appreciate everybody who watched. And then if you didn't get to watch all of it, you can find it on YouTube. And
Awesome.
we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.